Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Nice pass by Quinn. Here's Zucker. The return for Quinn. To Zucker, he scores.
Devils over one on the power play. And they score! His first NHL goal. BRUNTZ on the power play. And the Devils take a 3-0 lead. What a wrist shot.
Close out by Grimes perhaps had a little effect on that shot.
DJ Edgecombe, coast to coast for the rookie. 30 tonight in his NBA debut.
From ball. Mitchell spins. Mitchell feeling it. Mitchell three-pointer. It's good. Some Mitchell madness here in the third quarter. And the Cavs take the lead, a 1-point advantage. Timeout, New York.
We have to protect the quarterback. That's catch the ball when you're open. That's run great routes. That's elite communication. That's straining on the offensive line. That's running the football. That's scoring touchdowns in the red zone so you can take a lead and change the tenor of the game. That's coaches, players, everybody. So we haven't had many games like that. We couldn't even get in the end zone. And we haven't had any since I've been here. So it's humbling. But all you can try to do is either a tremendous missed opportunity or it's a tremendous learning opportunity. And so trying to turn it into a learning opportunity, I think, is the key. And I've liked the way our guys have approached it.
Good morning. Welcome in to Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. What's up, DB?
How we doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah, not too bad. I thought I would be a little, maybe be on kind of fumey.
Yeah? No?
Not too bad.
Firing all cylinders?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't sleep. He's something else, isn't he?
Oh,
Wemby, yeah. So why is Dallas the only team that seemingly couldn't crack 95? There were a lot of high scores last night.
yeah.
But I'm not going to bore you with the old NBA.
I mean,
I went to go see our man Nick.
Oh, yeah.
And he's hilarious.
Yeah.
Staff is funny.
Yeah, I told you. Salt of the earth.
Yeah, he gave me some shot called the Hercules or something like that.
Oh, yeah?
It has like B29,226 in it. And something else. So
I don't know if that's the exact number.
Hey, look at this bad boy, though.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I don't know how that happened.
They steal your blood?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I think he probably got a gallon out of there. A small liter. A liter.
Liter of cola?
Yeah. So, yeah, it was good. Maybe I was just kind of juiced. I don't know.
I told you.
I feel all right.
I told you. The next gen folks are where it's at.
I'm rocking with the Summerlin, though.
They did put you on it?
Yeah.
I feel like I feel pretty good.
It's probably going to be like 4 or 5 days before I can get it.
Yeah. And it's probably a couple weeks before you start to notice.
Oh, man, that's not encouraging.
That's how everything
listen, I want it now.
Patience, young grasshopper.
I can't believe you just were really going to break out into that delivery. It's how it works. Like what do you know about patience? And then to explain it to me.
Medical patients, I'm pretty good about.
It's how it works.
It's how almost all of these substances work,
Yeah,
DB.
whatever.
They take a little bit.
Damn be the facts.
You know?
That seems to be everybody.
That's what everybody else does.
Man. I mean, there's some real stupid people. I mean, just grade A morons.
Well, I mean, we could get into if you want to.
I'm floored. So, and I think Mitch said it best. With the lowest common denominator, he just put it in perspective for me. But I'm shocked. But do you know one thing? And you're gonna be like, why? But why? I would like to see some of these people function in their day-to-day lives.
That's what I was saying the other day. Where I was like, I don't know how people go through their life.
I would like to. I just want to
or is it hyper compartmentalized? This is the only thing they're like this about.
Like for these people, like take a black associate to work day, because we probably wouldn't be friends. But
you and me,
no. But I just want to I just want to go do what they do for a day.
I just want to shadow them. I just want to see what it looks like.
Yeah,
you know,
put on a little like officer cam or a GoPro.
Yeah, just see what happens.
I'm like, this has to be intentional.
Or I have started to wonder if they have to try and keep their wits about them so much in the rest of their life that they just let it all hang out.
This is their fantasy world.
This is their thing that's like not like it's real, but it doesn't have, if they scream at their boss, there's consequences. If they scream that the O-line coach should be fired, there's not really.
Oh, no, I hear you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And listen, I bring that up specifically because on Monday we talked about this a little bit, where people think about, the like every solution is to fire someone, and I just don't understand it. I don't. Like, I can present them with facts, I can present them with tape, and listen, does the offensive line need to get better? Absolutely.
I don't know. Does it?
I think so. I think the offensive line, I don't think it's perfect.
Do you know how annoying that is?
Your finger being cut?
Yeah.
That looks like it's in a terrible spot.
It's in an awful spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I sit here and I go, okay.
Do you care?
You seem very hurt right now. You're gonna.
Do I
be
seem
right?
distracted?
In general, am empathetic for your plight. I don't know why it was necessary in that exact moment. To be like,
I think you're really condescending.
Hey, Ravi, look at my finger.
That's fine.
I'm just mad because you wouldn't let me sit with you last night.
You don't point the finger, you point the thumb.
I was like, DB, can we be friends and sit together at dinner? And you're
Let's
like, no.
be friends.
He said, no.
And do things together.
Got enough of you already.
Do you know who's low key pretty funny?
Who?
I think Rico's pretty funny.
Oh, I know. Don't tell him. Don't give me credit though.
Sorry, you get jealous. You're like one of my guys that I coach with.
No, I just don't want his head to get any bigger.
We have a new coach on staff that I have an affinity for, and I think he feels threatened.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's okay because the new coach is he hasn't let me all the way in yet, but I'm getting there. He's probably like this. I wore something to practice yesterday, and he goes, because we've been having this discussion how my clothes never fit. And
sure.
Last week he told me I looked homeless.
That's a little aggressive.
And his delivery's hilarious.
Yeah.
He's yoked, and he's like, man, you kind of look homeless. He has this really soft-spoken delivery. So I thought about it for a while, and I was like, yeah, that's fine, whatever. It's a lot of big stuff. So yesterday I intentionally scrolled through everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of walk around, and it's hanging, and I was like, I looked at the sizes. I landed on something, and he's standing next to me for about 20 minutes into practice, doing special teams, and we're kind of in the back, and he goes, I mean, not hi, not how was breakfast, not did you have a good show, nothing. It was, yeah, this look just really isn't working for me. What do you mean? Well, you almost look like a normal person. It's just not working. I said, but coach, I did this for you. He said, yeah, don't. He's married to a cop too. I'm like, your wife would probably be like.
What's the range of sizes in your closet? Is it XL to 4X?
4X to, I have some larges.
Yeah. That's, if somebody ever,
I don't listen. I didn't say, hey, what do you think? I'm just sharing. I don't want your takes.
Well, that's kind of how this works. Is you talk and then I react, and then I talk and then you react.
You're talking to a ghost?
Oh man!
If somebody ever went through your closet, they'd think 4 different people live there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They'd be like, "Oh, this is the offensive line coach. This is the DB's coach."
That's probably who I need to be spending my time with.
Coach Williams?
Yeah.
I like Coach Williams.
Yeah. I was talking to Coach Jernigan this morning, and he ain't it.
Is he related to the other Jernigans?
Who are the others?
Isn't that like the Scott coach?
No.
Oh, okay.
You talking about Kyle?
Yeah.
No. How good a dude is he?
Yeah, it seems like the best.
I told him I wasn't even trying to make him sad. That is one guy that Matty rocked with from the jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I know he made a lot of people seem like they were friends. And some of them actually were.
Yeah.
Coach Juergens was in there.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't know him from a can of paint at first, but I was like, if he likes him, I'm in.
Because
he's just not effusive in praise ever.
Sure. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And how many times would he be telling us a story and he'd say, well, I was talking to Jergs, and it was just like,
And I was always confused because I didn't know on Saturday when I found out that they coach football together too. I was like, why are you rocking with the basketball coach? You hate basketball.
And we couldn't get him to say he liked basketball.
Ever.
This whole time.
Ever. he liked betting on basketball.
Yeah, I try to tell him the NBA, man, is
I don't bet on the NBA.
I mean, it's just delusional.
Yeah, I don't do
Watch
that.
some of the tomfoolery last night.
Yeah, I just watched Wemby do things that I was never seen in my life before.
Does it seem like scoring is up?
I don't. One night
It seemed like everybody was like 114, and maybe I've just been sleepy.
Yeah, I mean, it was up a lot last year too. Like it was.
Yeah,
like 110s, 120s was pretty common, unless you're the Dallas Mavericks, apparently.
Yeah, the Anthony Davis experiment is in full swing.
No, at least he's the good defense. Oh wait,
did you like the goggles?
I like Wemby just cooking him.
Hey, so speaking of which, you will be on very short rest because of your airport deal. We play, and the Steelers and Packers play tonight.
Yeah.
You have no idea how much I'm actually cheering for you to be in a good mood, because that means that Jordan Love will probably not have played well. That's the downside. It's like, oh gosh, I'm gonna have to probably rock with this dude on Friday morning, and he's in a good mood. But oh wait, that means he'd have to be right about Jordan Love.
That's right.
I'm hoping Jordan Love is not very good tonight.
No, I generally root for
I need Pittsburgh's defense to wake up.
I generally root for your teams for the sake of your mood. Like last year when the Dodgers were in the World Series, I was like, I'm gonna need them to come through here.
Yeah, I'm usually pretty okay though.
Yeah, you're usually not. But like I felt like a World Series loss would maybe put you in a foul mood. Whereas like a regular season football, you can usually bounce back pretty easy.
I did see, are the Dodgers like minus 220?
I'm just glad I don't have to do post-game football shows with you anymore.
They know what that is about.
Why?
Because there's a couple after some Nebraska L's where I was like, ooh, this guy is. Which I get, right? Like I understand it.
And it's in the moment too. So.
Yeah, it's like it's immediate, right? Once you've had time to process.
And a lot of times I'll have seen things or I see things that like the immediate reaction doesn't allow for. So there was always that disconnect.
Yeah.
And then there was the fact that if I felt like you just didn't play very hard or the results didn't matter.
Well prepared.
It could be a little bit of a problem.
I'm just.
It's still in there. It only comes out in spurts.
Yeah, well, and by the time we get to Monday, you've usually had time to process.
And I can watch again too.
Yeah, so that helps. But
although the vantage point from the presser
is pretty good, right?
It's pretty legit
because you're basically getting all 22.
Yeah,
which is nice.
That's why. Like when I'm gonna talk to MRI today, there's a couple things I'm gonna ask him about.
Yeah.
Number one. He was part of that era where infamously the scheme became all the rage. Two gap.
Yeah.
Two gap with like this bracket deal, right? So I'm going to ask him about.
And it seemed like Bo was a guy that was married to scheme.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I just want to get his perspective on like what it's like to hear constant feedback. Be kind of committed to it. You understand the intricacies. Do you get swayed? I mean, we had it a little bit with, running the ball and short side options and
oh, people love their short side options.
Just little stuff like that. I remember when Nebraska was playing a 50, they get in like this oaky front. People are like, it's archaic. You can't beat the fast teams. And so I just it's fresh enough for him to be able to speak on how players handle it.
Yeah.
Because everybody thinks they know what Nebraska's doing, offensively or defensively.
Sure.
And we talk about it as though we do. So, but he was part of that. He was part of that stretch where, remember, Shane, when I would have these meltdowns over people just using two gap, and I'm like, there's no way they even know how to
keep it simple, right? Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Yes, Michael, keep it simple. And it would just drive me crazy.
Yeah.
So then I would say, just like I'd be talking about a Crayola 64 pack, and I'd be like, two gap. I just throw it in randomly anytime I could.
It's fool's gold. We'll still pay with it.
It was like a thing that they heard Bo or somebody say at some point, and then they just kept repeating it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, that's our 2-gap front. That's the problem.
Because there's that interesting dynamic. Because right now you got to hunker down and kind of do your thing. Are you doubling down on scheme? Are you working in new personnel? Are you – I mean, because so far you've heard – I mean, Shane, can you dig through that clip real quick you used of Coach Rule? Listen to what he talked about with the run game, offense. Like, he was basically talking about – I think the question was really about pass pro or offensive line play, and he went into – this here.
Well, we have to protect the quarterback. That's catch the ball when you're open. That's run great routes. That's elite communication. That's straining on the offensive line. That's running the football. That's scoring touchdowns in the red zone so you can take a lead, change the tenor of the game. That's coaches, players, everybody. And so we haven't had many games like that where we couldn't even get in the end zone. And we haven't had any since I've been here. And so it's humbling. But all you can try to do is either a tremendous missed opportunity or it's a tremendous learning opportunity. And so trying to turn it into a learning opportunity, I think is the key. And I've liked the way our guys have approached it.
It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You want to strain on the offensive line? You know what that is?
What's that?
He's talking about like this mentality kind of when you're running the football where it takes where it's what they like to do.
Yeah. Well, we talked about this a little bit.
It's running the right routes. It's elite communication. That's code for, hey, check with me some of these RPOs. Sometimes we just got to line up and do it, guys.
Yeah.
That I think we can get off our heels.
Just get out of the, like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, I mean, there is something to guys know what they're good at, right?
Typically.
Like, I mean, not everybody, but
I mean,
you have outliers, but most of the time you know what you like.
Shaky 3-point shooter.
Yeah, I see Russell Westbrook casting threes like he's Steph Curry and, whatever. But that's in general.
Shout out, Steph.
Oh, is he up here this morning?
Yeah.
We love you, Wardell.
Don't you have us in the
I do. I just don't know. I'm not always looking at the screen.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of doing some other stuff. But we got JB and Wardell. We love it. No, but like, if you're an offensive lineman and you're one of Nebraska's offensive linemen this year, you probably understand, hey, I'm better at run blocking, right? Also, in general, correct me if I'm wrong here, almost every offensive lineman just prefers run blocking.
No, I hate to say that, but it feels that way.
Anecdotally, like from every offensive lineman I've ever talked to.
It feels that way.
They want to drive you straight ahead, pancake you. Like they don't like the passive nature of pass blocking, right?
Feels that way.
I would agree. So I don't want to blanket statement, but we'll generalize.
And I
here.
can't really ask our guys because we ran. It was a mindset.
Yeah, for sure. Like that was just who you are, what you did, right?
I did see Orlando Pace at a winery and on a recruiting visit. I should have asked him.
You didn't know, I was going to ask all these years later.
No.
It's
3 years ago.
Orlando.
Do you like running or pass blocking better?
I bet he would say running.
And he would look, because he's way bigger than
6'8".
He'd have looked down and he'd have been like, I'm sorry, who are you?
What'd you say? I can't hear you from up here.
Yeah.
How tall is Orlando Pace?
He's got to be 6'7". Got to be 6'7". And I'm not just saying that because the kids do.
I still don't understand it. He is 6'7". No, but so like if you know what you're better at and it's the thing you prefer to do anyway, then like that has to matter a little. I know it shouldn't, but that's human nature.
Yeah.
Right? Like you said a couple days ago, right? When you were talking about, hey, I don't want to run 41 and 47 dive. I
43, 47?
43, 47 dive. Yeah. He's like, I want to run the plays that Amon's getting. I'm fast.
I want to run 11-19 wall, man.
You're like, I can do that. Like,
man,
get me to the edge. I want to score those cool touchdowns.
Yeah.
And you would have preferred that. That would have been the thing you wanted to do, right?
Yeah, you know what I didn't like? 54-56 draw.
Like, there is, even though you were going to execute 44-56 draw and 43-40.
54-56.
I don't know. Numbers.
ISOs.
Even though you didn't want to run draw and dive, guess what? You executed it as well as you possibly could. Yeah. That doesn't mean, even subconsciously, you're not just like, man, how come I can't ever get to the outside?
I as some of these guys, when we had these check with me's, I've talked about this a little before. These 90 series, it was like 91, 93s, 95, 97s. And we would always motion out of the backfield. And I used to look at D Brown and these guys, and I'm like, they're not throwing us the ball. Like, I think everybody knows that. We're going to run these little weird speed outs. And they're never going to throw us the ball. But okay, we'll go out here and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I remember clearly.
Yeah.
And I mean,
you were a decoy. You were just there to try and keep them honest.
Like, look, there's things you don't like.
Absolutely. There's things everybody doesn't like. There's plays people don't like in basketball.
I think it probably stemmed, but I wasn't a big concept guy back then. I just was like, I have a chance to get the ball or I don't.
Sure. 100%.
So I think they probably know that too.
But also,
it's not like.
But if you're an offensive,
I don't like this 90 series.
No, you're like, I'm never going to get the ball.
I'd like it if they threw it to me.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Right. But like, if you're an offensive lineman, obviously you're in the game already. You get to play. You get to do. You're part of the team. You sit there and you go, okay, I really would love it if we could get downhill a little bit and kind of impose our will on these guys instead of feeling like we're on our heels all the time.
Yeah.
Right. Like that. It might.
I mean, that is kind of the downside to check with me's, but. The more you do it, I think the more you get acclimated. We ran a ton, but they were typically runs.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have run-pass options so much unless we did go to.
It was just a different run.
It was just a different run.
Sure, yeah. Like, hey, they're showing this front. We got to switch out of this.
Yeah, we would go we would get two run plays.
Which, I mean, if you're going to have check with me's and you're trying to establish the run with this year's team, that might be an option to be like, hey. If you don't like what you're seeing for the run we called.
Yeah, but the RPO is all the rage.
That's fine. It can be all the rage, but it can get away from you in a hurry also.
Well, we saw it in a couple of series early.
Like if you are trying to establish running the football and you have a quarterback that is able to identify things, so he's going to change and audible out of things a lot.
It's like trash.
Did you put trash in there? What's in there?
I don't know, but this is a random piece of fruit, so that might have something to do with it.
No, that's a bit of a problem.
Strawberry, maybe?
Yeah, don't do that. That's gross. Yeah. That might have been a strawberry at some point. It is no longer.
Damn, be the facts.
If you've got a quarterback that is able to see things and check out of it, you may need to give him other run options if you're trying to stay with the run. Because like in the micro, he might be doing the right thing. But in the macro of like, hey, this is how we want the game to go, it can get away from you, right? Yeah. Like in the moment, he sees it. He goes, hey, this is not the optimal play against this defense. But it might still be the optimal thing to run the ball in that situation because, A, if you execute, you're still going to have success, right? Like that's generally speaking. If you execute, you're probably still going to have some level of success. Secondly, you need to establish some of those things long-term to get what you want in the pass game later on, or to get the results from the football game you want later on. It may not matter that, oh, Dylan can check me into 6 yards here instead of 3 in the grand scheme of the football game.
And maybe they could like go to like jump protection or some more quick game too.
Sure.
Right? Because you saw so much two-man and the way that Minnesota was playing it, you weren't going to get vertical.
Yeah.
I mean, you could occasionally, right? They
had a couple
opportunities.
Yeah.
But when they utilize favorable down and distance. But I think getting the ball out.
I mean, like we saw against Cincinnati. They were pretty good about it against Cincinnati.
I think getting the ball out. Because you seldom see defenses that won't let you throw it over their head where you don't have room.
Yeah,
it's not like they press you
and then you still can't get
40 yards and you can't get vertical.
That's not a thing.
Although there's some little variations, but typically no.
I mean, yeah, if you could pull that off, congrats. Like you're going to win.
Well,
probably.
You can do it to one side or to the outside. You can't typically do it across the board.
Right. Like for the whole field, you're not going to both be able to take away the underneath stuff and over the top.
Some pre-snap cover 2 stuff, you may think.
Sure.
They're squatting because corners have boundaries and safeties are over the top. So but in the slot, those guys are walling. They're not letting you inside. So quick game is going to be there.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to bore you with that, but I think I'll be curious to see, and not the type of stuff. I get it. where you kind of want to just like bang like speed outs and stuff. But sometimes just little stick routes, just like right now's, where if I'm in the slot and I'm reading a coverage and I've got safety 12 yards off the ball and I know I'm trying to hold this outside linebacker with RPO, just throw me the ball.
Yeah,
like just let me just
get out, go.
Yeah, you see it all the time in the
NFL. It happens constantly.
They just raise up and throw it to them.
Yeah,
right. It's like
immediately.
And I mean, when Barney doesn't get that target until late. Now there were a couple. There was one.
There's a couple he should have got the ball. There's a couple he should have got the ball. You talking about the over?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I think I said it during the broadcast.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, Barney's right in his sideline. That's about 25 yards.
Yeah, yeah. No, there was ones he missed for sure.
So I don't want to say that there's like not open.
Yeah.
I think when you help a guy out that you may think.
Yeah, if he's not seeing it
by
as
the
well
end
as
of
you
the
want him
game,
to.
he had to kind of be seeing ghosts.
Yeah, if he's not seeing it the way you want him to, like help him out with some quick game, right?
Who's coaching him?
And again, I've said this 100 times. And I know you hate it a little bit.
We'll see.
But especially if you're trying to accomplish what Dana's talking about, which is to make them tackle you, the quick game is nearly as effective as the run game in that sense. Yeah. Like make them make the tackle.
Why would I hate that?
Well, because you get mad when I'm like, oh, well, the short passing game can be like the running game. You don't like that.
Because all right, it needs context.
Because the physicality of running the football is different. It wears on people.
Needs context.
I know.
Right?
I understand. I just
the
like
desired outcome is to get it out in space on the edge, sure.
Yeah.
But I want you to have to punish me too.
My desired outcome is to get 4 or 6 yards positively instead of 4 or 6 yards negatively. That's my desired outcome.
Surprised he was so candid about scoring touchdowns.
Not really. He's been pretty candid about everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He kind of told us what the deal is.
I understand.
You want to get to TK here?
Sure.
Let's get to our guy, TK. I don't know if he's going to be able to beat that banger of a call he had last time, but let's give it a go here. TK, what's up, bud?
Good morning, fellas. I am definitely not going to beat that, but I am going to take a page out of your book, Robbie.
Okay.
And try and ambush DB with a question.
That's my favorite.
that he didn't answer via text.
Wait a minute.
What do we
know, man?
What do we got, TK?
What do we got? Yeah.
Okay.
Those pauses always throw me for a loop.
Well, because I'm expecting some snarky remark from one of you two.
No, I'm
trying to be
what
kind
approach
and
would I take?
respectful of your show.
Oh, listen, there are so many words in this text. This is incredible.
All right, let's hear it, TK. What's up?
I am rather long-winded.
All right, go.
If you're playing a team, and Robbie, I'd be interested to see this from a basketball perspective that likes to hold on to the ball as an offense. What pace do you respond with your offense, knowing that they're going to try and hold onto the ball?
Oh, that was Elkhorn South. So I'll give you. Everybody's different. For us, a team that likes to hold on to the ball, the number one thing, and maybe this is where Coach Rule said what he said about getting too vanilla. With a team like Minnesota or Iowa or teams that want to possess the rock, we tried it against Central. We just weren't very good at it. You got to get them off schedule where you need a 2nd and 8, not 2nd and 4 or 5. Or you need a 3rd and 7, not a 3rd and 3, because the only real times Minnesota played with a little tempo is when they felt like they had Nebraska on their heels a little bit and didn't want them to sub. But for the most part, they were he was super savvy working the clock. So that's where, in everybody's philosophy is different, TK. But I think, and Coach Queen and I talk about this quite a bit, on first down, sometimes I think it's a good time to pressure because I think it's a rundown. And so I want us to get into our run fits against teams that want to run the ball because I want a 2nd and 9 or, a 2nd and 11. So then we can really do the dictating. I think coaches a lot of times on first down, since it's a two-way down, tend to play it a little more straight up. I would not be that way philosophically. Just Just saying.
What if you were calling an offense against that team?
So we went tempo because we wanted to get on them quick so we could keep them from wanting to possess the ball. And I think I don't know, I jumped out pretty early on them, and it changed the way I felt like
on Elk South. Yeah,
teams wanted to play. I would play with pace. TK.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. That's what I kind of figured, because like in college we played the flex bone, and we would get explosive plays, but also we would just run zone dive like 7 or 8 times in a row and be okay with getting 5 yards a carry. And lots of teams did lots of different things, but I think the tempo probably was the thing that made it the hardest on us.
Well, you're going to see one on Saturday. I think both those backs yards per carry are in the mid-4s.
For Northwestern?
Yeah.
What's Komalafe averaging? Komalafe is averaging like 4.5 a carry.
4.5 exactly.
Yeah. Thank you.
And then to answer a question from earlier, yes, it is much more fun to run block. And every offensive lineman that I know, I can only think of 3 who have ever said they enjoyed pass blocking more, and that's because their arms are so long that they can touch their knees without bending over, and it's completely unfair.
I'm gonna ask Beaker real quick.
You're telling me you cannot touch your knees without bending over, TK?
I'm gonna ask a couple of elite guys.
Well, I was elite in my own right in 8th grade.
TK, legend in his own mind, just me, buddy.
Is that where the what's the term we coined as being short?
Natural leverage.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Is that when natural leverage hadn't quite kicked in?
I'm nowhere near Zach Wiegert.
Okay. All right, I'm just checking.
TK, you going to court today?
We actually have a big prosecutors conference, so I'm going to be learning all day. I'm excited.
Look at you, lifelong learner, TK.
Prosecutors conference. TK, can I ask you something? Lawyers have their own methodology in terms of how they like to try cases, right? But you have like DAs and stuff that have a certain vantage point. Have you had any experience yet where you just have to execute the game plan even though you don't really like it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just because you might not like, and I think defense lawyers probably feel this the most because I've had experience doing both. Sometimes you're just stuck, or like for prosecutors, the worst one is when you have a bad witness, or like there's a mutual fight and one person takes it really big, like takes it further than it's supposed to be. And you're charging that person, but, obviously they were both fighting. Yeah. So lots of people will be like, I mean, that guy deserved it. He just lost. Well, you really deserve, like, after losing the fight, getting stomped on the ground, In the law, you don't deserve that. But
yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
All right, bud.
That's life. Have a good day, guys.
See you, TK.
TK here for not stopping on, guys. Somebody asked what flavor your Pop-Tart is. It's really weird. It has confetti specks on it.
Yeah, it's strawberry.
Why are the sprinkles multicolored?
I don't know. They always have been. That's a strawberry Pop-Tart. That's just what it is.
Pretty basic?
Yeah, strawberry is a pretty standard flavor.
Okay.
It's one of the mains.
I was checking out at of course I had to grab a bag of ice, wasting more money, but I was looking at some cookies that were for sale near call those end caps.
Nice.
I saw a Selena Gomez cookie.
What? Okay.
I didn't read what the flavor was.
Hold on.
What?
Was it a cookie that looked like Selena Gomez, like decorated to appear as though it was Selena Gomez?
It was of browner complexion, but I don't think that had anything to do with the way she looks. I believe it was an Oreo. Let me look.
Oh, it was just like a collab?
What do you mean?
Like Selena Gomez was lending her likeness to a different cookie product.
Sure.
I'm asking, like, did somebody make a sugar cookie and try and
No, it was here they are.
Decorate it like Selena Gomez? Okay. Yeah. So that's like a collaboration with her and Oreo.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I was trying to understand here.
Oh, that's cute. Playing a play on her heritage, maybe cinnamon and cream.
Austin, I'm gonna tell Dr. Fiance that you said that.
What did he say? I can't read.
I'm not gonna say it.
Oh.
Jason, not a fan.
I don't think you can say
that.
I don't think you can say that.
Jason did not enjoy those Oreos.
I'm telling.
That's what I said.
She's tougher than him, too. There's no way he can whoop her.
Yeah.
She would beat the brakes off that dude. You could just tell. Anywho, yeah, Doc's not a fan. There were a lot of those cookies.
Of like,
do people? So is that like? Let me just ask myself if it's something I would like. Yes, because I have bought. Remember those old school gummy things that look like Lifesavers, but they're not? You used to sell them in like FBLA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They're like those little candy discs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what
But
FBLA
they're
is, but I know what the candy is.
That's because you're not a future business leader of America.
Certainly not.
So we used to sell them, and they were fantastic. And I didn't even think they made them anymore. And they were by the checkout counter when I got there. And I was like, don't do it. Don't
It's like the impulse buy?
Yeah, and the guy was like, do it. Do it. And he sold me a multitude of things I didn't want to buy. He's like become my guy. It's really weird. I think he's a former criminal too, so it gives me the willies, but he's funny. Well, this was like 2 years ago, and he said this was the only place that would hire him, so it just kind of made me feel like
maybe you're just having a tough time finding a job. Damn, DB. You go immediately to convict.
Gives me been arrested vibes. So anyway, he's like, do it. Do it. So I bought it. And then I didn't even eat them all. This was like 5 months ago. I'm just, what? He doesn't know I'm talking about him.
He might. A lot of people listen to the show, DB.
I know.
No, you're exactly right.
I know.
No, I was going to say something that I'm not going to because that's a line I haven't crossed yet, and I'm not sure I want to.
Do it. Do what must be done.
No, I'll tell you off air just in case you decide to murder me, and I don't want that on camera.
You need people like me.
Coming up on the show today, we got Michael ROSE-IVEY, former Husker, coming up at 8. We'll talk a little defense with Michael ROSE-IVEY. We've got Brian Edwards at 8:45. Major wager.
Did you read Amazing Daniel?
I did
mildly disgusting. If they made an Amazing Daniel cookie, it would taste like beard oil and bong water.
Michael BRUNTZ is at 9. Husker 24/7.
We keeping the book right now. We ask.
And then we'll.
Whoa, who said that?
That's Cam Ward.
Whoa.
We keeping the book right now. We ask.
That's from a couple weeks ago.
I did not hear Cam Bam say that.
We had Shane Pullick because we thought it was funny. 9:45.
Where was I traveling?
No, that was a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, probably wasn't working.
Don't blame you. Came back faster than I thought you would, honestly. Jesse Rogers.
He gave me a pep talk.
Yeah. Jesse Rogers from ESPN will talk about the World Series coming up to end the show as well. That's the lineup for today. That's DB. I'm Ravi. We'll be back from Hurrdat Sports Live.
The Drive into Fall event is on at Edwards Ram and Jeep, Village Point and Council Bluffs. Lease the 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn for just $359 a month with 0 down. Fearless fall savings with a massive inventory this October. Or upgrade to Adventure with the 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo, lease starting at $299 a month with 0 down. Big inventory, bigger savings. Hurry to Edwards Ram and Jeep, Village Point and Council Bluffs.
Aspirations can drive us. Sometimes a simple gesture is what fuels the pursuit of a dream. When it's time to make your dream a reality, We are here to help. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Yeah, just as a team, just playing hard and not just just taking punches and not swinging back. I think that just goes back to having pride for our university and pride for this football team and the work we put in. But Coach Rule's bringing it out of us this week, so we'll be ready. It could mean a lot of things if you really dig deep into it, but for us, the game happened Friday. We had Saturday all day to sit on it, and Sunday we came in and literally told every truth possible, and then now it's on to the next, not the last game of the season, but it's about fixing it, and I know those guys in that locker room will get it done.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
We always talk about earning the right to rush the passer. We have a bunch of guys that can get after the quarterback, but you have to stop the run in order to put people in passing situations. And that's not just, that's tackling. That's those guys creating havoc plays, mayhem plays, and getting tackles for loss. That's the offense scoring touchdowns in the red zone. So instead of it being 7-6, it's 14-7, and the score starts to change. But you see guys stepping up. You see guys getting better each week. You see guys making plays that maybe they didn't make before. And so, with each week, they get better and better and better. And we'll need that this week.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, reminding you if you're on the road this morning, get those eyes up and those phones down. Don't get distracted. You've got one job as a driver. That is to drive. This message from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Apparently, there's been some arrests with NBA players, or former NBA players, and I think Terry Rozier's current still, for illegal sports gambling. They've been arrested by the FBI.
Were you shocked?
That's not great, guys.
That the NCAA, or whatever the governing body is allowing athletes and athletic departments to bet on professional sports? I mean, they're going to figure out a way to do it anyway, I guess, but because that ruling was just yesterday morning.
So I think this is probably not a popular take. I think
that would differ
in general with things like sports gambling. This is not applicable across the board. The more things that are legal tangentially to the thing that you want to keep protected, the easier it is to monitor that thing. So if you make it if you say, hey, you can't bet on professional sports, I don't think it prevents people from preventing on professional sports. It prevents them from doing it through ways that are easily trackable.
Yeah.
Right. So if they're going to a sports book, that's more on the up and up in my mind than them going to a bookie. Right. If you're going to a sports book, you probably don't have anyone trying to influence the outcome of a game to the same degree as if you're doing things in illegal or back channels. So in this very specific sense, I think the more things you can make okay, especially when that player has no bearing on the outcome of that game. whatsoever. They probably don't know anybody in that game. If they do, they probably can't influence anybody in that game. It's not even like their classmates are on campus or anything like that, right? So I don't see a huge risk. That doesn't feel like a big jump to me.
Why now?
I'm guessing they've had issues with it, and they, that's not something. That's not the hill they want to die on.
Okay.
I don't know why that wasn't the hill they didn't want to die on before. I think the NCAA in general seems to be, hey, I want to be overly restrictive. And then they find out like, oh, we're getting the life suit out of us. We probably need to rein that in a little bit to the things we actually care about. I don't know if they were going to get sued over a betting thing with professional sports, but I do think
more sensible for the betting deal or to allow G League guys to sign in college basketball.
I mean, the betting deal is definitely more sensible, 100%. But because like I said, I don't think they have any outcomes or influence over those outcomes. I will say, if you're gonna let Europeans do it, I don't know how you don't.
So
let
I
G
think
League guys
the
do it.
Zug like that. You just knew you were.
You're opening a can of worms.
We talked about it real time.
Yeah, we're like, okay, so do you put an age cap in? Because what's to prevent a 28-year-old?
Like 3 days worth of shows.
Yeah, like what do you do if you've got a 28-year-old that's been winning EuroLeague MVP who all of a sudden says, hey, I want to go play college ball?
Well, you're getting it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Santa Clara got one, and
I mean they're all
the other Louisville.
They're all over. Yeah. Like literally, there's 3 European players that have played.
I'm talking about straight from the G League.
Yes, yeah. But I mean, there's 3.
How Santa Clara pulled it off? He's got to be from that area.
Santa Clara has some weird connections, also.
I know they do.
They genuinely have weird connections. So anything
whether it's overseas
for sure.
I agree with you.
So I don't know if it's just that hey they're already in that agent game and so they had connections there. But anything weird that happens, I'm like
Steve Nash thing.
Santa Clara might be involved. Just anytime there's a weird thing,
it's kind of weird.
It's how St. Mary's was with international players for a long time. It's just like you have these certain places that go in and kind of have these like sort of territories, and it's super weird. I just know an Australian guy's probably gonna end up at St. Mary's. That's all I know. Always.
Who doesn't want to be a Gale?
I still hate Matthew Dellavedova.
Oh, me too.
To this day.
Wow, that's a nice pull.
Oh, hate that guy.
You didn't like because he yapped a little too much?
Well, first
this dude went with Dellavedova.
So first, I mean, he's double trouble for me because 1, he cooked Creighton 1 year at St. Mary's, and then 2, he was just.
I should have known.
And then 2, he was just assaulting Steph Curry for an entire final series.
And Curry was on the ground. He was looking up at the official. He was like,
"Yeah." After he gets tackled by a free safety, he's just like, anything here?
He was just tracking the near hip. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you probably could have called targeting on some of those, but I will say one of the funniest stories I've ever heard is when I think it's Mon Shumpert is talking. It's either Mon Shumpert or
I used to like Shumpert, but he's kind of nuts.
He's a little nuts. Yeah, I think it was Shumpert because he was on those Cavs teams, and he's like, man,
he had. Do you remember the nitty gritty about his child support case?
No, I don't.
Yeah, Shumpert's he's a funny dude.
Yeah.
Check out his podcast.
No, this is where it came from.
Shumpert is nuts.
The Dellavedova story came from his podcast where he goes, they were talking about, oh man, he did such a great job on Curry, and he's like, bro, that almost killed Delly. Like literally, he's on IVs, like unconscious in the locker room after every game. He's like trying to track that dude for 2 weeks. Almost killed Delly. They're like, he couldn't move.
I don't even know why I'm laughing. It's not funny.
It's a little funny.
Near-death experience.
Just trying to guard Steph Curry brings people to near-death experiences. That's why it's funny.
I thought it was weird timing by the
It is a little
by
unusual.
the NCAA.
It is a little unusual.
Like, what were we missing up until then that made it a thing?
I don't know if because normally it feels like these things happen in like July. They're trying to get a jump on it before kind of the next school year starts. So October feels odd.
Like the Wednesday news dump. Hey, we can, you guys, it's cool. Just bet on pro sports.
Maybe they had some NBA parlays they needed to get in.
That'd be miserable. Why would you do anything with the NBA except player props?
I don't know. So some people are sickos and can't help themselves.
I could maybe see totals.
Totals make sense.
But ATS?
No, absolutely not. There's way too much. Look
at all the guys getting hemmed up.
Yeah, absolutely not. Not even close.
You think they haven't told anybody? Like it's not a thing?
Yeah. I'm not trying to bet ATS basketball. Or NBA. I never have. I've never thought it was a good idea.
Well, it's the only of the major sports where guys are going down like this.
Well, it's not even that. It's just even if
it is that. Why isn't anybody else doing it? You know why? Because it's easy to do.
A, yes. But B, even if everything's on the up and up, you still have so much variance in those games, it's impossible.
Yeah.
Like, you could have a 30-point lead in the third quarter, and it's like, yeah, you're not covering. Just not going to happen.
You know what? I want to, where does my man Warren go? Warren might be friends with me.
Warren Moon?
No, Warren in our chat might not even be his real name.
Warren G. Harding?
No, numbnuts. I want to say Rob.
Oh, yeah, he's in the chat.
So he might be our new crack statistician.
I haven't seen him. Where's he at?
Hey, that was a long time ago. It was probably like 7:30 because I was talking about yards per carry and
4.08 after contact. Was that him?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's hidden yardage.
So there's for sure it's a lot.
Yeah.
But there's also another thing that could be happening there, right?
I suppose we got to say two things. Number one, we're going to take him at face value that he's correct.
Sure.
Northwest rushing average 4.8 yards after contact seems like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
If I take that at face value, which I have no reason not to, Warren, you seem like a very nice young man. Those are the kinds of things, Shane, if you go to the clip where Coach Rule talks about preventing long drives, preventing long drives.
Yeah, I think we've done a lot of really good things defensively at times. What we haven't done is just been consistent enough for 4 quarters, and I think you hit the nail on the head. A lot of that's just been from the secondary standpoint, tackling and giving up the home run, giving up the 74-yard run. But those guys are playing good football. They're doing a lot of really good things. They're learning on the job. Rex is a redshirt freshman. Donnie's a redshirt freshman. Andrew's been a joy to have here, and they'll be tested this week. 17 for Northwestern's as good. Transfer from South Dakota State is as good as receivers will face. The run game is multiple, and it comes after you. So we'll need all those guys locked in and on point. And when the time comes to go make the play to get off the field and prevent that long drive in the third quarter, I'll trust that those guys will make it.
No hidden yardage.
Yeah, tackling is important.
I was surprised he was that specific because it starts before that. Now, it's been woefully bad, but it starts before that too.
Well, yeah, we've talked about this before where getting the run fit right and early helps make tackling way easier.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason I've been harping so much on that is, yes, the tackling's been bad, but they're also not making it any easier on themselves.
Yeah, they're playing a team that hidden yardage is a real thing. You cannot look up and see second and fours. You just got to get them off schedule.
And that's what happened at the end of the game against Minnesota, right? Especially.
Well, they've kind of taken your will too.
Yeah.
So,
but you'd hit a guy at 2 yards, and then all of a sudden it's 2nd and 5. And then you hit a guy at 1 yard, and all of a sudden it's 3rd and 1.
Yeah.
Like that happened the entire second
players
half.
Can feel that.
Sure.
Like the
guys.
guys.
Because you end up on your back a lot.
Well, the guys on offense can feel it too.
Yeah.
They're not interested.
Yeah, it's like, hey, they don't want to. They're not about this life anymore.
My favorite. You can't. Players know, but sometime I'll try to find a couple where I think players did it. Sometimes when you don't want to see a guy, you can take angles or move in such a way where it's more glancing than direct.
Sure. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like if you want to get there and square him up, you probably could, but you play it in such a way where it's like,
maybe I'm gonna swipe this ankle,
and it's hard to discern unless you're actually
unless you've done it before.
Yeah. I'm telling you, sometimes I just got to roll the tape back. I'm like, wait a minute, man. You could have fit that.
I think you might have been able to hit him there.
Yeah. Why come at the side?
Well, it's like you're talking about with not just on tackling, right? But like taking on blockers.
Yeah.
Right? Like sometimes you don't want to take on that 3.
Or whole man versus half
Yeah.
man. There's so many cool little, not cool, that's not the right word. It's cool if you're a nerd, but
It's like interesting
nuances.
nuances.
Ways to play it other than just saying, we need bigger linemen. What?
Whose voice is that?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I got lots. Do you want me to do somebody else?
Yeah,
next
who
time?
do we got?
Well, I can't do it.
Oh, and it's not on
demand.
command?
No.
All right.
I have to go in the character, be aggravated or something. I got lots.
You do have lots of characters.
Yeah. I just asked Kenny, and he tells me which one to say.
He rolls them out.
Yeah. I had to put Kenny to sleep for a while.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah, he's about to take over.
I don't know if Kenny needs to be out and about in the public.
Nope, not right now.
Just
not right now.
Shut her down.
Trying to read. Why is Steve sending you cherry Pop Tarts?
Somebody was
Are you a
asking.
big cherry guy?
Oh, they're in the rotation.
You're a child.
Listen, I like Pop Tarts. They, I think they're good. Also, they're easy to grab on the way out of the house. I'm not trying to warm things up before I leave.
I don't understand why that bugs you.
Because
That's fine.
it becomes a whole thing, right?
I tell you I don't want to warm things up. You tell me I'm getting botulism.
Nope, that's different.
I ate that sandwich, by the way.
Of course you did.
It did not.
These are shelf stable. Shelf stable. That means they don't need to be refrigerated. It means you don't have to warm them up or cook them for them to be
non-perishable.
Also the same thing.
Okay.
Yes, but
shelf stable.
It's stable to be left on the shelf.
Oh,
it's pretty self-explanatory.
Okay.
Not shelf-explanatory. That's a different thing.
I don't even know what the FCS is.
But I don't even remember. Let's take a break.
You like kids' breakfast because you don't like warm food?
No, it's because it's a whole thing.
Don't you eat in your vehicle?
I do. Well, I don't eat the Pop-Tarts in the vehicle.
Because they crumble?
Well, I just wait till I get in here. Unless I've got a low blood sugar, then I wait to eat until I'm in here. I just kind of snack on it throughout the morning. But no, I don't want to try and if I'm not going to eat in the car, which I don't always, then the warm food will get cold. There is no microwave here. I don't want to eat warm food cold again. And then I've got to deal with a plate or a container.
You know the answer?
Or utensils.
Don't refrigerate it. Eat it room temp. It's fine.
Still gross. Still gross. And still botulism. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. Mike ROSE-IVEY coming up next.
The Drive Into Fall event is on at Edwards Ram and Jeep, Village Point, and Council Bluffs. Get $18,000 off MSRP on the 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn 4x4 plus 3.9% APR for 72 months. Fearless fall savings with a massive inventory this October. Or upgrade to adventure with the 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x4. These starting at $299 a month with zero down. Big inventory, bigger savings. Hurry to Edwards Ram and Jeep, Village Point, and Council Bluffs.
We discussed as a unit after the game, just the mindset we had going into the game. We not in the sense of entitlement. We just kind of felt like we took our foot off the gas after that dub with the against Maryland. You know, it was a hard fought battle. I felt like we got just slightly comfortable. So going into the Minnesota game, like, felt like we didn't stick to our process as much as we needed to, which you know, affected us overall on the field. I think just in all areas of, you know, not even just on the field. I think, you know, just overall and how we went about everything with, like, just, you know, the recovery, studying film, you know, on the field, practice, during practice, just trying to, whatever I could see, you know, trying to pick up on it and say something about it. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's kind of like you got to hold yourself to a certain standard. So, yeah, that's kind of that.
A successful financial future is built one coin at a time. Whether you're just starting out or a seasoned saver, we've got the financial resources and team of experts who will be with you every step of the way. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, the issue I have is that we haven't had this problem the previous 2 years. We've tackled well and stopped the run and practiced the way we practice. And so, you know, for me, it's each player taking it upon themselves to take one more step, you know, to stop diving and laying out and come up and strike and try to strike with dominant contact, same foot, same shoulder, all the things that we teach. And so we're still drilling it. To your point, you can't drill it every day like you do in training camp, but we have to drill it because we are not tackling at the level that we are accustomed to, and that's obviously been disappointing.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Michael ROSE-IVEY, former Husker. Michael, how we doing this morning?
Doing good, fellas. How you guys doing?
Oh, you know,
Yep.
you knew what kind of week this was going to be. I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
MRI, how do you think I'm doing? it's like putting out
It's been a long week.
1,000 men, right? It's like
It's been a long week. I've been checking in.
But you know what? You're the perfect guy to ask because you perhaps played in the most popular era of schematics talk, the famous two-gap, right? Everybody, media, fan base, we all thought we knew about two-gapping and bracket coverage, right? How'd you guys respond to knowing the intricacies and kind of what it was supposed to do versus the results it may have yielded? And you guys still stayed the course because it was what you were taught to do.
I think with any scheme, you know what I mean? Like it isn't Madden, college football, you know, you can change the playbook every game thing type of thing. Like there's a cognitive. No, I don't think anybody understood that. Right, mid-season, you can't just fire everybody and change your playbook like
Wait,
like
are you
video
sure?
games.
Are you sure?
We can try it this week. I mean, we want to.
Some people want to. Some people want to.
But again, like you don't put all this time. Like we don't get the sound bite that we want to make people stand about their wheelchairs. These guys aren't confident what the heck these coaches are calling. You know what I mean? Like let's be serious. That's the thing that gets me with these fans. Like we can have all the preseason hype, you know, this, that, and the other, and you know, a couple games go wrong or things, you know, maybe not as progressive as people want it to be in the program or with the offense, defense, special teams, whatever the case it is. And we just throw everything to the fire, and it's like you can't win like that. And I don't understand. DB, you put a lot more time and accomplished more things in that jersey than I did. But I don't understand people who never even put on the uniform. They're that quick to just throw their hands up, right? You know what I mean? And just say, hey, this is who we are. It's what we like. I'm just never been that of that victim mentality. So it is frustrating when you have 2 weeks like we had where you got to kind of talk down. But I'm to the point with like DB, like my job is not to teach you how to fan, right? And I'm not gonna put myself in I wouldn't say a personal bind, but just a mental deadlock with somebody that does not even
hard,
want to
though.
even budge. It's hard. It's hard. You want to help people. You have a very kind heart, DB. I don't know if anybody told you that.
Oh, Robbie makes fun of me, so I like the way you say it better.
I make fun of him because he gives people way too much leeway, myself included.
I prefer your version, MRI.
I call him the good piece of cheese guy, right? Like he could have a terrible sandwich. The bread is all moldy.
Doing too much.
The meat's disgusting. But he's like, oh, that piece of cheese on there, that's pretty good. Like
that's a pretty good Havarti right there.
He will find the good piece of cheese in every turd sandwich.
It's in there somewhere. You just gotta search long enough.
And I'm like, hey, bud, sometimes it's just a turd sandwich.
I did this morning.
Yeah, that's true. With some good cheese.
I relented. I said, was it on or off air? I go, man, there are some real dummies out here. Like,
off air.
I'm floored. And so now I'm to the point where I just kind of want to, you're going to be like, why? But I just kind of want to spend some time around them just to see like if that's how they always operate. You know what I mean? It's like
you're a process guy. You want to see how what their process is. Good or bad. Good or bad.
Right?
I just want to see them go down in flames in their real life when they try and act like it. That's what I want.
Hey,
we'll never find out because there's a profile picture of someone else or a dog or some other BS.
My
Show your face.
Follower of Christ.
Right. Show your face. Clayton Bisbee. We want to see your face.
Incredible. Incredible.
All right. So let me ask you something because I told this, I was leaving. This was Sunday morning whenever I messaged, and I had just done one of the breakdowns. I go, man, MRI, it seems like anecdotally, all these runs kind of seem the same that are like 20 or 25 yards or more, not just the ones that go for touchdowns, but long runs. And so then I tried to go back. Michigan was first. Maryland was really obvious, where they intentionally utilized schemes that I hadn't really seen them employ the week or weeks before. So I mean, imitation is the best form of flattery, right?
Right.
If defensively, how much are you working on those concepts that are beating you, whether you see your opponent run it or not, versus, okay, they're getting us with this. This is sound. We're going to try to just beat this with sound defense, even though it hasn't worked yet before. Like there's that position of, well, this is just football, right? Head down, you get down. Don't try to back a gap versus, well, they're doing this intentionally because we play it this way.
That's a good question. I would say there's an obvious something on film, and we can say it or we can assume what it is, but those coaches know. So there's something obvious on film that teams are seeing, right? That they feel like, okay, we may not be this team, but this week versus Nebraska, we're gonna beat this team because we know they're not. Bill Belichick, Bill Walsh. I mean, that's great coaches do that, right? So I think it's hard because I think even Butler kind of said it. Like even after that long run, he said he got less aggressive and even kind of. I didn't really look much at the pass game, was just focused on the run game. And you can tell in the run game, right? He was a little gun shy to send guys, stunt guys.
He did that against Michigan.
Yep.
They just flipped sides of the field, and instead of going for 71, it went for 54. It's exact concept.
Same concept. Yep. And I mean,
he tried the ET. I mean, he's tried it both ways.
He's tried it. Yeah, he's tried it. He's played it, and I think this is the least amount of stunt movement, I think I've seen from them all year. Not a lot of, and I'm okay with that because looking at the game, I mean, looking at the film beforehand, again, a lot of fans aren't privy to that. Like, going back and actually watching what the other team does going into the game is just a Nebraska didn't do this type of thing. But again, like you said, when you go and watch the film, they're not living in certain schemes, but when obviously Nebraska shows up, that's what they're hitting. So they haven't been hit with a lot of stunts. And I thought that was Butler's plan going into it. Like, hey, we're not gonna stunt a lot, we're gonna play, straight up. And there was times where they couldn't hold a point, right? They were getting pushed on the inside, right? The edges were getting decreased, right? Because we were coming down too hard inside, things like that. So again, you want to fire everybody, right? But at some point, I mean, the salary these guys earn isn't just about winning and recruiting. Like, they got to be problem solvers, right? And sometimes they be problem solvers before the problem happens. Well, we know the obvious problem right now, and I think Butler's, I wouldn't say throwing stuff at the wall, but he's trying everything he can within his right his ability to be able to help stop stop these gash and runs. But I think at the end of the day, it's got to be execution. It's got to be execution. Guys got to execute. I don't know how any other way to put it.
I was just getting ready to say, at what point, if I know, I guess playing somebody else is always an answer, right?
Right.
But you would assume they're trying to win games,
right?
Right. But I also know coaches don't always play the best players; they play the guys they trust. So get that out there. But I know, like, listen, if I'm at the point of attack and I'm a strong side A gap guy, but I'm gonna take kind of the easy path. I'm gonna slip behind and see if I can still make the play, even though I'm an A gap run fitter, and everybody else is compromised, or I see 2 down blocks and I don't get down, or I see face mask and I don't split. Like, those things, that's not scheme.
Yeah, it's not scheme.
And I have a hard time believing it's coached. So
Yeah,
how do I get myself out of, well, if you're allowing it, you're
oh my God, DB. Yeah.
Well, you know what people say when they want the outcome they want, right? So that's why I say it.
Yeah,
but that's where we're at.
Yeah, that's where we're at. I mean, and again, like you're saying, like, this is basic day one fall camp block recognition that we're not getting. And again, I said it. Maybe it's too early. I don't know. But inexperience can't keep being the only reason why we're not executing. Just a willingness to do your job. You know what I mean?
Like
Especially when things are
over
tough.
and over and
yeah.
So that's the thing. That's what I kind of want to hit on, right? Because that's where I'm talking about with you, with having to have the resolve in the scheme that you're playing. It's game, it's week 8, 9, whatever. And teams, the defense is built to give up. I mean, it's not going to be a havoc tackles for loss, deep run fitting team you're playing on, right? Like, so you have to be patient with it. At what point does the repetition kick in, or have you done it long enough to know that you're going to be okay? Because right now I think they're so young in it that they haven't come out of the back end to have the resolve. Like, I think that's part of it, but we don't really talk about that openly. We just want to, like, sometimes you just have to go through it to know that you trust it.
Yeah. Again, I mean, it's not a video game, right? We can't do a bunch of hot routes because we know that we all know they're running the C gap, but we can't compromise like the overall integrity of our defense. By doing that. I mean, I think that people just gotta continue to get educated on ball, man. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, there is no magic pill. All right, there's no magical defense. I mean, teams have one running a tip, but 2 teams run 1 and quarters. Teams have run 1 running man. There's no magical scheme. Guys have to execute, right? And we don't know what their coaching cues are. We don't know what those things are during the week. But I mean, ball is ball, like you said. Someone crosses your face, your gap's in between. You got to stay in the gap. I mean, it's plain and simple, and that's where I think it's kind of got to a no nonsense kind of tone from Rule, also from Butler with the defense.
You can hear it.
Yeah, you can hear it. Like, hey, like it's time. Like, there's no more excuses. We've seen enough football. We know how they're attacking us. Let's go play, you know?
Michael, let me ask you this. When you're talking about guys that, the kind of the willingness or the commitment to doing your job and fulfilling your role, how much of it of what you're seeing for Nebraska, and maybe it doesn't matter in practicality, it feels like it might as a fan, but how much of it do you think is guys who just are not either focused or willing to do their job in the way that it needs to be done? And how much of it do you think is guys, especially at the second and third levels, where they either don't trust their eyes or just aren't seeing it fast enough?
I'm not there Monday through, Sunday.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
tough.
won't say they're not focused. I won't say that because I think that's sometimes unfair,
Mhm.
unless rule completely comes out, which he kind of, I mean, maybe he did really kind of say it, with kind of his comments during the post game or during the presser. Um, it again, it's tough because we don't know what's being coached throughout the week.
Mhm.
But I think there's a fine line between um, guys learning on the fly, but also needing to execute on the fly. Like I think like for this unit with how much inexperience especially have, quote unquote, as of now, um, going into a game was be game 8, right? I believe game 8.
Mhm.
Um, that at the end of the day, we just got to execute. I think the reps should be getting to the point, like DB said, where things are familiar and it's more not reactionary, but I am moving as my key tells me to move, right? And not being a step too late or step too early, right? I'm seeing it and reacting in an efficient manner. And I think they're still trying to find their guy. Like even this week, like we saw some different guys play a little bit heavier roles on the D line this week than previous
Yeah, like
weeks.
95.
I saw a lot more Gabe Moore.
Yeah, a lot more Gabe Moore, a lot more. And what I don't know, I can't pronounce the German guy,
Hufkin?
German guy's name. Man, he
Yeah.
had some reps. Would love to see him. Would love to see more of him.
We're in 39.
39. Yeah.
So
39. Yep.
here's the thing, though. So, and I get it because you guys just got to bear with us here for a second because this is just coaches talking.
Yeah, we're coming through cable wires. They're all tangled up right now.
So, how much of whether you see gap scheme or pen and pulls or whatever the philosophy is from an offensive line, like everybody's different, but you have to see it X amount of times before you know what it feels like when guys want to come off or they're trying to scoop you versus reach or like that comes from experience. Can you change your practice habits enough? Can you change the way that you practice against it where you can still get multiple guys in, but get them the reps that they need to know what it feels like?
Yeah.
Do you think that's a thing?
I do think it's a thing. I would just being a coach, I would hope at this point we see enough reps to be a little bit more consistent with our play against that scheme. But I tell you what, now that I think about it, as a linebacker, just thinking of my personal experience, I loved facing gap scheme, right? In gap scheme, right, there is kind of one direct spot that the ball's going to hit.
You're a hit it, split it kind of guy. You like
Yeah. But more offensively thinking, like it has an aiming point, right? Think about zone, right? I mean, zone can hit. You can run the same mid zone play 4 times in a row, and it may hit in every single gap, A, B, C, D, right? So there's a lot more variance of where it hits. So for young linebackers, right? All week we're yelling at the scout team running back. No, they run an A gap. They run a B gap. But when we get in the game, they're going C and D, coach. Like it's
right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's a big part of it.
You saw it on the long run. Merritt clearly wants to play cutback.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
He's a backside run fitter. He knows Marquez Watson Trent's got to fit it snug
back to him. Yep.
But when Judy decides to go underneath to take the path of least resistance, like everybody's compromised. Like
everybody's
now,
compromised.
Everybody's compromised. And
it's like that's where D-line, that's why it's so important, man. That's like You know, like you said, being compromised. I'm watching Scandal right now. My wife, we're rewatching it, and we're at the part where they have a mole. They're trying to figure it out, like who's the mole, right? That's kind of like what it is up front, right? You compromise yourself, right? You go inside like that. You leave the second level and third level in a bind that where now we have to play on the roll or play fast on the run, right? And have to be able to gap exchange. And again, for young linebackers that are looking at like, okay, I'm trying to minimize the game, maybe minimize my vision where I'm not seeing the whole picture, right? I'm expecting the ball to hit here. I'm expecting the guy to do this. So they're looking at more of the X's and O's on the pages instead of looking at more free flow and then, hey, like this guy is basically, I mean, those zone schemes, sometimes they're telling them, hey, don't even worry about gap. Read the Mike Backer. Who we identifying? Okay, we IDing that guy. He goes in, you go outside. He goes outside, you stay inside. Like, so that's why I mean, zone is much harder for a D line, younger defensive lineman, younger linebacker to be able to play. And then you talk about playing quarters and like even some of the man stuff where we're playing my man, my fit. That's not easy on safeties as well, coming down to the box, right? And so, like I said, I would hope you have the reps though.
Quarters is tough, right? You have to rep it a ton in practice, and I'm
Yeah.
sure they do. But do
You know another thing, deep. Sorry, go back. Sorry,
no,
DB.
no, go
But
ahead.
going back to that quarters thing, I think one of the biggest things we never talk about how we can defeat that +1 from the safety, and we've seen it all year against Nebraska. Reduce the splits of the receivers. We're not even going to block the second level. We're going up to the safeties, and we're going to make your corner getting a fit every single time. And that's been the killer with that boundary run. We've seen it. We've seen it with all those long runs.
That's the second long run against Michigan. It's the one that the guy from Maryland hit Nebraska on the set. They leave him. Number 2 gets right to safety. I even asked you in the Michigan game if could Rex have made the play if his head is on the other side as a man, my man guy. But they're already getting them. They're leaving the corner.
Yep. They're leaving the corner. Yep.
So, like, I see what they're trying to do, but if you are gonna gap exchange or and I would teach it kind of like crack replace. I don't want to get super techie, but if we're going to exchange responsibilities, how often do you think you have to see that as edge setters? Like that's a feel thing.
I mean, after Michigan, that's got to be an EDD. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. I think that
he means everyday drill.
Yeah, everyday drill. Like after, and you know how it is, DB. We could have the greatest, the grandest idea about what we think our team unit position group is going to be in June, July, August. September comes, we start to see, okay, hey, this is where we're actually vulnerable at. Okay. And so we have to adjust our practice structure to that. Okay. Hey, let's take this drill out because we're not seeing a lot of this week, or we're not getting a lot of this. And let's add this. And this is not saying they're not, guys, they're paid very, very highly, right? They spend a lot of time, probably 18 to 19 hours on football every day. So I'm not saying they're not turning over every stone, but again, it's just got something that's got to click on the field because you've seen too many times that the guys are like, it is 3rd and 2, and we're playing quarters on the backside, some form of quarters or man match on the backside, and they go get the safety, and our corner is still backpedaling. You know what I mean? It's just situational awareness sometimes too that's just lacking a little bit.
I would guess they could either get a switch or a flip call on the backside, right? I should ask. I have pretty good access. I should just ask the question, but you still have to see it
right
quick enough to fit it, right? So I said this. This is beautiful. So I think Monday, Ravi, remember, or Tuesday, I said this has to be a deal where Nebraska has seen some of the schemes so often now that give up the same big play. Whether your opponent runs it or not the week before, you have to rep that concept. You just have to do it over. And it's going to feel to the players like you're chasing ghosts because it's like, well, may or may not do that. But I watched Michigan run outside zone, and I hadn't seen them do it in 3 weeks previous. So it's like they game plan too.
Yeah, no, they game plan too. I mean, you guys probably do the same thing on Mondays where whatever you got hit with, or maybe Sundays, or you got hit with on Saturday, right? Their first period on Monday is usually a correction period. It's usually
we invent ways that they would block us because of what we hadn't been good at the week before. We're like,
exactly.
They don't fold block, but these guys fold, and this is probably this is how we do it all the time.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's important. And again, not saying they're not doing it, but again, just got to get it to happen. You got to get the guys to execute it, and that's where we're at, right? And again, like we talked about Butler and all the things he's tried to do to alleviate those things. But at a certain point, we got to execute. You got to do your job.
Yeah, because you get the sense. I don't know. I don't want to ask you a leading question. He comes across as extremely bright, like a good teacher.
Oh yeah, yeah, yep.
So,
Oh for sure.
And it's hard for me to just say, well, they got to play better. But I'm hearing you say it too, right? Like,
yeah, like you don't want to say that. Like I mean, especially as we're coaches now. We don't really affect the game once the ball's kicked off. So it's like I've used all my resources, you know what I mean? And at a certain point, maybe I gotta give a different coaching cue. Whatever it is. It could be, and then you know what, D, we could be talking about all this schematical stuff, and you know how it is. It might be something personal going on with a guy. It might be the XYZ that's going like you just never there's so many stones you can turn over other than the scheme part to get the guys to execute. Hey, maybe I need a little more buy-in from this guy. So maybe I need to spend a little more time around him during a stretch. Maybe he's not been the same guy he was that we expected from the summer, right? But maybe I need to reach out to him, and maybe on the outside of the football thing, at football level, I need to communicate with this guy a little better so I can get him to trust me that, hey, when I say I need you to fit on the backside, I need fit it. Fit it like we've been coached to do, like you're capable of doing. So, there's a lot of things that I think this staff, can be looking at and working at to help these guys, just be better on Saturdays and execute.
It's the main reason why I'm just reluctant, because I think some people, not all, I think some people want to learn and get it right versus be right. But I find myself going down rabbit holes of I'm not going to throw the bait. I can eat the meat and spit out the bones, right? Where I can say what I don't have to bury guys or coaches because I know that they're going through this with these guys
in real time.
In
real time
for the first time. Like Nebraska, I was given examples of losing to like Syracuse in '84, Iowa State in '92, and inevitably I'm going to get that doesn't make any sense. These guys haven't earned the right to look down to an opponent. You're missing the point. It's
right.
The point is your reference point is only your reference point.
Right.
Like it belongs to you. So whether we had earned the right or not, we should have been even further past what we did than in that moment, right? We should have been better than that. So imagine if you're not there yet with a frame of reference. Oh man, what do you mean this is
it's
cool?
Like, where's the entitlement come from?
We
know what I mean?
We've
this point.
We won. What do you mean I should have fit that? But we won. No, see, that's going to end up costing you against the team that commits to it.
Right.
You guys have to understand that. Oh, we got you, coach. We got you, coach. No, I'm telling you, like, this is going to happen. No, we got you, coach. And then it happens, and it's like, man, they tried to tell us.
Right.
I've been there. I know you've been there.
Right.
Where it's like, sometimes you just have to feel what it feels like so you cannot go through it again.
Yeah. Yep. But some people are glutton for pain, and despair.
Well, those are the guys that got to sit their ass down. Like you got to go find something else different to do.
You got to find something else to do.
Yeah, that's
I think I think that's a good point again outside of the Memorial Stadium, those guys, like, people have their comments and stuff like that. But I think that's a big thing with, either wanting to get it right or wanting to be right. I think people conflate and confuse those two things.
Yeah, when
it's
you hear
interesting.
Those two coordinators sounded like guys that had a talking to. But and people will say, well, Coach Rowe makes all the money, like it's on him too. No. So do you know what he's thinking? He's probably like, man, shoot. I had this, and this. This is new for me, too. I got two accomplished guys. They're really smart. I'm kind of new in this PE role. I tried it this way. It didn't work for me. So this week I've got to be like he's doing the same thing because he's going through it for the first time, too.
Yep. Yep. And I mean, you see that. I think they're, you know, I think he treats his job as its own. I mean, I think he references Temple and Baylor, but I think he sees the difference in the structure in Nebraska that's a little bit different.
Good.
But I think, like you said, he's going through this right now. For his first time, and I think um, Troy Dana said it during the weekly press conference, things like that. That basically, this has been, I guess, this has been basically 15 years, what I mean, for, the Husker fans, maybe probably longer, but
I know some
it's
people
been,
didn't want to. I know some people didn't want to hear that, but I
yeah,
understood what he was
I
saying
understood
about
what he's saying. Yeah.
conditioned.
Yeah, it's a condition thing. You know what I mean? You have to help yourself get better. How you doing, Dr. Sharp? You have to you have to see it through, man. Like I don't do we just fold up the Nebraska football program and say, oh, woe is me. Like I don't get it. Like, you know, I keep seeing the tweets from different columnists. Like we all said this was gonna be a 8-win, 9-win team. Like where do you think that the 3 to 4 losses are gonna come from, guys? Like again, this team still has an opportunity to go compete and have undefeated rest of the season. I still think that's capable. Capable for them. Especially with Penn State and kind of their debacle right now. And obviously USC is playing really well. UCLA has improved, but still, I don't think that's out of the question for them to for sure be bowl eligible, but also be an 8-win team. So I think we're all processing that. I think even with the possibility of us being to clinch a bowl game the past 2 weeks, maybe there's been an added pressure there. Just with with the staff and things like that. But I mean, you go back to that thing, and I sent it to you, DB. I was like, that was one of the more telling things I think I've ever heard a Division I coach or even any coach at a high college level say I had a hard time convincing my assistant coaches. And that was I love and I hated people saying they hate the transparency from Rule, but it's like what I mean, okay, he's in the CEO mindset, CEO position. Like what CEO is coming out is Nike, is Phil Knight coming out saying, hey, I had a hard time convincing my guys that Adidas was on our butt and trying to like there is a openness about Rule that you have to love and appreciate. And like you said, it sounded like from the tone of the two coordinators that hey, assistant coaches wait outside for 5 minutes. Let me talk to these guys. Let me get this squared away because I know with their mentality. I've talked to Mosey about how working for Dana. Loves working
I've
for him,
watched
but
him
he is a
stop
grinder.
practice.
He's a grinder. He's a
He
grinder.
stopped practice over a difference
So
in 4 minutes. So
if
like
if you don't think SHIT is rolling downhill in those assistant coaches off rooms, oh you're crazy. Both of those guys have a um I don't want to. That's not the word. They have a way about themselves that lets you know that they have just as much put in as far as like their you know them owning right their side of the ball as much as we're owning the whole program.
Yep.
And so with those two guys, I think you're going to see it corrected. And you got to think this staff is not the oldest staff, right? This is not the most like hey 10, 15 year like you got Danny, you got Butler, but like a lot of those guys in those positions are guys that are still under 10 years, coached in college football, right? So there's still maybe some younger tendency as far as even coaching, like getting complacent about things. That happens. People don't talk about it, but that happens, right? And to hear Rule come out and say that, I think that was, at first I was like, oh shoot, I don't know if that's
no,
a good
I
thing,
like the
a
fact
good
that he
look.
said it out loud because I liked his self-awareness because he's so
Yeah.
competitive. He's going to be just
Yep.
as hard on himself. Like
Yep. And
he'll get
I
better.
think that was as much as people saw it as him calling out the coordinators. I think that was more of him admitting publicly he allowed that to happen.
Yep.
And there's two ways you can always see those type of things, right? And I think we've kind of seen, not kind of, we have seen a Rule that he is what he's telling us. He's going to be transparent. I'm sure he's getting his message over to his guys. Tenfold. It's not. It's being echoed throughout the team meeting room. So again, I like the self-awareness. Like I was a little thrown, like I sent you that message. I was a little thrown back. I was like, I don't know, I don't know about that one.
I get it
don't
because
know.
it looks
But I
weird,
get it.
right?
Yeah, looks
the-
weird to say
especially
that. Yeah,
especially to men,
yeah, to
right?
men.
But
Yeah. Mhm.
because we don't admit things like that out loud. But
Yep.
now that I told Ravi this on Monday, once he says that out loud, he gives himself no more wiggle room for
Yep.
He himself is. That's how I looked at it. I didn't look at it like he's rolling his guys up. He's like, oh, I put it out there now. So if it happens again, I told you. That I was not going to let that happen. So I don't mind it at all.
Yeah. Looking at it again, I don't mind it at all. And again, I think it maybe puts more skin in the game for those assistant guys. That like, hey, when you're working for bigger named or maybe accomplished guys, you maybe a lot of deferring. Like, hey, coach, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? And maybe Butler and Dan's like, hey, man, like I told you what we need to do. Like, just do it. Like you know what I mean? I don't need to coddle you. I don't need to baby you. I don't need to set up your position drills for you. You see the film, you see what your guys struggling with, get after it. And I'm telling you, I have no doubt in my mind that after Dana and Butler left Rule's office, text message, assistant coaches, my office now. Like I'm very positive that got nipped in the butt. And I've been around practice this week, but I would assume it's a fire lit under some tails, not just in guys in helmets and shoulder pads, right? I think some of those assistant coaches probably got a little talking to and said, hey, we need you to have some skin in the game and make sure these guys are ready to play. Because, Butler, Dana, Rule, they can't do it all. It's the reason why you got that big of a budget for a support staff. Let's support and let's do our jobs.
That's Michael ROSE-IVEY, former Husker. Michael,
good as it gets.
Great stuff as always. We appreciate the time. We'll talk next week.
Appreciate you, fellas, man. We're going to get a win Saturday. We'll get back on the board.
Sir. All right,
let's go get it.
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
They'll win.
Yeah. Good stuff there from MRI. Man, there's a lot in there.
It's so good. Like, I just want to sometimes, like, I have strong convictions, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
It feels good when other people see it the same way without me having, because originally,
without you trying to have to talk them into it.
Yeah, because originally we weren't on the same page. Even like Jay Moore. Originally, I'm like, come on, Jay. But the more we talk, it's like, yeah, well, this is a different. He helps me see a different vantage point. I help him. At no point when I heard Coach Rule this week did I think, man, he's rolling his assistants.
No,
what he's doing, I'm speculating.
What do you think he's doing?
What I think he's doing is when he sprinkles in it and comes back to it starts with me, he's reflecting real time on what he could have and should have done differently. He's just telling us as he's thinking it.
Yeah, he's taking self-inventory.
I try to tell those guys, like he's processing out loud. It's one of the reasons that we actually connect, because I'm the same way. So I say a lot of stupid things out loud. It's like, man, if you're reading that and then it's just 4 + 6, like, isn't that 10? Like, it sounds dumb.
Right, but you're just doing the thinking out loud.
I'm just thinking out loud, right? So I love knowing right where he's at. I love knowing right where they're at. So then there's no guesswork. Right? He's telling you, look, man, like I allowed it to happen. That's not happening again. When guys are hitting you up and they're like, man, such and such a player got roasted in practice today. This was crazy. I thought we were going to see this, on our Sunday practice, not our Tuesday. Like, believe me. And it's not panic. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to be overcorrecting either. Because
there's that danger.
Yeah, you can overcorrect.
Yeah.
But as long as your culture is in place, you just use the words that you've been using.
The common language.
Yeah, you stay away from the see, I told you. It's you reinforce the common language. It builds in accountability. I've said that from the jump.
Yeah.
Because it's the most useful and purposeful in times like this, because it's easy to make it about other things. But if you feel like your culture is being set, and clearly this culture wasn't ready to handle limited, flawed success. They were not built yet to handle limited, flawed success. Even though their coach said every week, hey, we're not perfect, but we gotta win. We got to go back to work. Hey, certainly this has got to be better, but we got to win. See, his team has to embrace that too.
Is there
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm not reinventing what he said, and this isn't revisionist history.
Yeah.
And I'm not validating his job as a coach. What I'm telling you is if you want it to work and come out of the back end, this is how you have to do it. You may need better. Like, I'm not even assessing the talent, right? I'm assessing the philosophy behind how you get better. I don't know if his way is going to be the way. I do know if you want to get better, it starts with a few things. I have to evaluate, I have to be able to communicate, and I have to be able to take self-inventory. If I can do those 3 things, I give myself a fighting chance to be better. You just do. It's like it's like a chair with 3 legs versus 4. Like, you need all those components, and it doesn't necessarily guarantee you a comfortable seat, but it at least gives you a chance to sit down. So you can work on how sturdy you want it to be, but you have to have those 3 components.
Let's take a quick break here before we get to our guy Brian Edwards from Major Wager and try and make a little money this week. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
Fearless savings this October at Edwards Chevrolet with 0 down sign and drive deals waiting for you. Get $12,000 off MSRP on the 2025 Chevrolet Silverado 1 LT Crew Cab 4-wheel drive or lease for $555 a month with 0 down, strength and upfront savings. Or drive the 2025 Chevrolet Trax front-wheel drive LS, lease starting at $299 a month. Sign and drive with 0 down, smart design and modern tech that fits your lifestyle. Don't wait. Fearless October savings are happening now at Edwards Chevrolet.
Well, you got to establish a run. That's the easiest thing, and, we weren't awful in the run game, right? Now, when I talk about balance, it's about getting the ball around to different people. I mean, we've done that at a high level this year, and we need to continue to do that at a high level. You go back to I charted the Cincinnati game, and I just kind of revisited it. We snapped it. We put the ball in play 64 times out of 78. Okay, so that 68 snaps, the ball is getting distributed to people. When you snap the ball 55 times and 15 of the 55 don't get put in play, there's just not enough so somebody's going to be upset, And we got to get Ja'Cory the ball more. We got to get Dane the ball more. We targeted Dane 3 times downfield, and they were unsuccessful.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live. Now, Vegas insider, senior handicapper, and fan of the cold Budweiser bottles, Brian Edwards.
It's got to be touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.
Brian Edwards.
I don't really love it.
Brian Edwards.
The way they're using the cream cheese to butter the bagel.
Brian Edwards.
I'm going with the cowgirl.
Here is Brian Edwards.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Brian Edwards, our Vegas insider from Major Wager. What's up, B?
Good morning, fellas. What's happening?
How we doing?
We've been great since Sunday around noon Central.
Well, is that when everybody leaked the official firing, or what? Like, what could you possibly be so happy about? Bro?
I mean, I woke up pissed off. I was like, wait, this hadn't happened yet? What's going on? What's the wait?
So I was getting ready to board a flight to the House of Horrors, aka Minneapolis, on Thursday morning. So I missed you. But going into that game, did you feel like he was coaching for his job, or it was all she wrote?
I figured it was all she wrote with the open date coming up and not even wanting to give him a chance to beat Georgia and potentially gain some November momentum again. And, you know, if you fire him after the A&M loss, you know, the players got to do press about the coaching change, et cetera. And you know, it's a game week, whereas after the open date, win or lose, at least you got 2 weeks to adjust. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so B, I got to get the updated coaching wish list here. Give me your top 3 next Florida Gators head coaches.
Okay, so I've got Kiffin 1. I mean, this isn't like necessarily a realist. Like, I don't think Freeman's going anywhere, but Freeman's number 2. Now I updated it. I moved Jeff Brom up to 3. Now I'm not saying he's leaving. He grew up in Louisville.
Here we go. The Brom buzz every 3 years is incredible.
And then I've got Dillingham 4. I think James Franklin's I don't want him, but he's a nice little like plan D or E fallback.
You leave James Franklin to the boys in Tallahassee, all right? We're going to take him.
That's what I was thinking that FSU.
I would take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, I wouldn't be pissed. I mean, the dude's going to recruit and win 10 games a year. And in the ACC, who knows?
Absolutely. Who's your – okay, so you said that might be kind of your wish list, like not necessarily who you realistically think. Who's the highest guy on that list that you're like, I think – because, like, I mean, Kiffin, if you get him, is awesome. You know, that's a hard one to pull away. It seems like he's pretty happy at Ole Miss. Freeman, like you said, is probably not going anywhere. Who's the first guy on that list that you're like, yeah, that's – like, I feel over 75% that if Florida offers, we can get him.
Well, look, if Kiffin if Ole Miss makes the playoff, it's, you know, we got to move on anyway. But yeah. I think we got a better than 50-50 chance at Kiffin if they don't make the playoffs. So go Sooners this weekend.
Okay. He seems so happy.
He does, but so he's back together with his ex-wife, who I went to Florida with. Like her dad was John Reeves, the coach, the starting QB after Spurrier, like late 60s, early 70s. And so I think she might give us a chance. All right, there's Jed Fish at Washington. Maybe.
This was a huge year for him. Like I told Robbie that before the season even started, if he won 8 games, he was going to be on everybody's hot list.
And so he was a grad assistant for Spurrier just for either 1 or 2 years back in the 90s. So there's a slight, long time ago, small connection. I mean, you know, I have Brian Kelly number 7. I don't really want him either, but I think he's going to get fired.
I agree. Yeah,
he's got a big one this weekend to kind of give him a nudge.
Yes. I got Drinkwitz 8.
Surprised he's so low. He's catching. He's
been pretty good.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's been pretty good.
Would you take Dillingham ahead of those guys?
I had Dillingham number 4 behind Brom.
Because I think that's the. I mean, I think you could probably get Brom. I think Dillingham's the first one where I was like, yeah, that one feels like it could go. Like if he gets offered, he's probably going.
But ASU could still make the playoff as well. Whoever makes the playoff is done, or we're out. Because I mean, with the portal,
you got to make the hire in December.
You got to make the hire there first week of December at the latest, right?
Yeah.
Guys,
sure.
I have a question.
Yeah.
B, is Florida a better job than Penn State?
I'm gonna say yes, but I mean, you can make arguments either way.
I think it is.
Yeah, I mean, you can make arguments either way, but I'm gonna say yes.
I think it is too. I don't know that there's a huge gap.
No, definitely not a huge gap. No,
I think Florida is a better job than Penn State. Where do you rank?
I mean, I'd have to look at the hard data.
Right. So that's the thing is, I don't know what the NIL money is and all that kind of stuff.
And I get the kind of the at the top stuff with the chancellor and Florida's
a little messy right now.
Is a little messy.
So that does give me some pause.
Messy.
Yeah, that gives me some pause.
So that's why the consternation, but just on the periphery of just the location and the job
stuff,
it tells me Florida.
Go ahead, B.
I was just gonna say, fertile recruiting grounds.
Well, I mean, it's not like there's no players in Ohio and Pennsylvania, but
no, I know.
Florida State or Florida better job? I'm genuinely asking because I don't know what the
just the fact that like you're in the ACC makes FSU perhaps more attractive for James Franklin. I mean,
life's easier, right?
Absolutely, 100%. So that one's debatable as well.
I mean, listen, man,
you were just poo-pooing winning, man. This conference strength thing is, I don't know, it drives me up the wall.
Well, it's easier to win in the ACC, is it?
Is it? I don't know. There's this guy Sweeney who seems to be on the struggle bus. I don't know.
I mean, that's what Bobby. I mean, let's always lean on St. Bobby. That's what St. Bobby said, right? Why do I want to go play them big boys?
We love.
Why I want to play them big boys every week?
You just gonna let him talk about your coach like that?
He's right, and Bobby Bowden's a genius. He is a saint. What do you want? He's dead on about everything. Listen, I invoked Bobby Bowden earlier this week. We always try and use Saint
Bobby. Bobby. All right, let's go to Cal.
Hey, well, actually, let's just let Damon know that my college picks last week, while he was gone, went 8-1. The only loss was Cedric Alexander over 47.5 rushing yards. He got 45.
Your player props, your last handful of weeks, man, you just all in on the player props.
I mean, I just keep winning them, so I'm like, how can I not be?
I'm not turning down money.
Right.
Hey, real quick before we get into the picks, Gon got anything for Aspinall? You love Aspinall.
Aspinall in round one plus 170. I can't believe I can get plus money on Aspinall in round one. I mean, he's won every fight in round one except for one. Here, I'm looking it up now. Was it the Arlovsky fight?
Yeah, yeah.
And then and then obviously when he tore his knee against Blades. But let's see. All right, his last fights: 1 in 60 seconds, 69 seconds, 72 seconds, and 15 seconds. 3:45 in round one. 2:30 in round one. I'm sorry, the 15-second was the loss when he blew his knee out. And then Arlovsky, 1:09 into round one or into round two. So every UFC win has been 3:45 or fewer. So plus 170. Thank you.
What about real quick? Almeida versus Volkov.
Almeida by submission plus 160.
There you go. All right, let's get into college football.
All in on finding those plus angles. I like that. Study.
Speaking of plus, Cal's got plus money on the road at Va Tech. What are we thinking about Cal?
Yeah, so Cal as a road underdog under Wilcox, 21-11 against the spread, and they're 5-2. Va Tech's 2-5. Give me the underdog, Golden Bears.
There we go. Then Arkansas going with Arkansas's -1 against Auburn. Speaking of guys that might lose their job pretty soon.
Yeah, he's unlikable too, man. How he handles the media, they cannot love him down at Auburn.
It'd be great if he got an endorsement from his AD, though. That'd be terrific.
Can you believe he said that in the presser the other day? He's so lucky he didn't get fired before noon Sunday morning, and he says that?
His self-awareness.
Zero. Read the room, pal.
0.
What do you got here? Backs against the wall, proverbial.
I mean, look, Arkansas is playing good under Petrino. They lost by 3 at A&M at home to A&M. They out-yarded them 527 to 497. They out-yarded out first down the Vols on the road. They just fumbled -3 in turnover margin, fumbled it away. I mean, they're close to winning, and this is the win. Auburn's a mess. I mean, I know they could have won all 4 of these games, but they've lost all 4 of them in a row, and their offense is just garbage outside of the running back. Jeremiah Cooper's having a good year.
All right, this one's huge, and people keep kind of doubting Vandy, but this is a big one for Missouri, especially with their remaining schedule, which is a gauntlet. Vandy, less than a key number against the Tigers.
Jeremiah Cobb, not Cooper, the Auburn running back. My mistake, guys. Yeah, Vandy -2.5 here. Mizzou, back-to-back road spot, overtime game last week. They got fortunate. Auburn missed a bunch of field goals. Vandy unbeaten in 4 home games, 3-1 ATS. The only non-cover, Utah State got a late touchdown in a backdoor 55-30 win. And Diego Pavia, career TDI&T ratio now 74-23 for Diego and 25 rushing touchdowns. Give me Vandy.
It's almost like Vegas hasn't caught up with Vandy.
I know. I mean, this is just a solid team.
Is it Vegas or the public?
I don't know, but it's a scary. Why would Vandy be less than a key number at home?
Yeah. I mean, Mizzou's pretty good, but I think
they're
better.
physical too.
Yeah, they are physical. But I just think Vandy's better, and Vandy's healthy. They have gotten the good luck, injury luck so far this year. Fingers crossed.
All right, let's talk about our favorite Nebraska opponent, Cincinnati. They're -3 against Baylor. How you feeling there?
So it was 4.5-5 early in the week. Now it's 3.5 at a lot of books. So let's buy the half point. Probably going to cost you -130 juice. Let's get it to -3. And then let's go Sorsby over on his rushing yards, which I've seen anywhere from 33.5 to 37.5. So Baylor, you worry about sacks on college quarterbacks rushing yards. Baylor tied for last in the Big 12, 121 nationally in sacks with only 8. They've given up to mobile quarterbacks Jackson Arnold, 137 rushing yards, Sam Levitt, 62 rushing yards, and Avery Johnson at K-State, 72 rushing yards. And Sorsby has had 36 or more in 6 of 7 games. Let's go over the 33.5, 37.5 range for Sorsby rushing yards. Let me give you one more. Marcel Reed, A&M's quarterback. Let's go over. That's in the 30.5 to 33.5 range, and he's had at least 37 in 5 of 7 games. And back to Arkansas. I know Auburn's got a good defense, but Mike Washington, he's gone I think he's 120-something and 130-something in Petrino's games as a head coach. And he had 71 in the first drive against A&M. Let's go over anywhere from 74 to 79.5 on his rushing yards, and Taylon Green over 55.5 rushing yards, Arkansas QB.
Yeah, Green's starting to play. He's starting to play better too.
Yep, third best QBR in the country.
That is Brian Edwards, our Vegas insider, Major Wager. B, we appreciate the time as always. Talk to you next week.
Thanks, fellas. Y'all have a good weekend.
Thanks, B.
Hopefully you can go 8-1 again.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That would be nice. Make our listeners a little bit of money. We were talking about them earlier, but don't forget, if you need to get a little pep in your step like DB, make sure you call our friends over at Next Gen Mayo Medical, 402-614-9700. See if maybe they get the Hercules shot.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if they got
not feeling very Herculean.
I don't know if they got a Superman shot too, but they'll help you out.
Batman.
They'll get you feeling your best. Make sure you give them a call, 402-614-9700. We've got Michael BRUNTZ coming up next year on Hurrdat Sports Live.
The Kia Fall Savings Event is on at Edwards Kia. Fall into fearless savings with upfront deals on your favorite models. Lease a 2025 Kia Soul LX starting at $189 per month for 24 months with $2,000 due at signing. Style, efficiency, and a price that moves you. Smart looks, fearless savings. Or lease the 2025 Kia Carnival EX starting at $389 per month for 24 months with $2,000 due at signing. Comfort and tech made for every family adventure. Hurry, the Kia Fall Savings event ends November 3rd at Edwards Kia.
We're in the neighborhood, just down the street. With a wide variety of home equity products to help you create a relaxing oasis. So you can kick back and relax in comfort. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Yeah, there's quite a few of those guys, and I think that when we talk to them, I think that they build their book based on their life experiences, and you build your book based on your football experiences, right? So the more you experience the good things, the more you experience bad things, the more you experience just getting the reps in the games. And I had that conversation actually specifically yesterday with Donnie, and that you have to just start to realize, okay, why don't you take a look at all of your snaps this year and what routes are you getting? Come back to me, and what routes have you been seeing? You're not seeing a total route tree. He's seeing go balls. He's seeing shallows. That's pretty consistently what he's seeing. So just what is the indicators you have pre-snap? That's the benefit of having a system where you have a boundary corner and a field corner, because the field corner will see totally different routes and totally different players than the boundary corner. Same thing kind of with Rex. Same thing with Will. Same thing with Vincent Shavers. A lot of these guys, they're either in their first or second year. That comes with experience. That's why a lot of times old teams are better than young teams, just because they've experienced a lot more. They've been around the culture a lot more. But that's a valid question.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, and it was against a Purdue team that was really hot the week before. So, they're I think they're sixth in the Big Ten in rushing. They can really run the football. The quarterback Preston Stone, who transferred in from SMU, has played it really well. As I said, the wideout 17 from South Dakota State is a big play threat who wins on third down. And defensively, they're stout and physical. A really good defensive line. So they're a tough, hard-nosed team that is playing really well.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Central Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Michael BRUNTZ of Husker 24/7, rocking a Arizona Cardinals hat. Is that what we got?
Go Cards, yes.
You big Jacoby Brissett guy?
Neil Lomax, actually.
I believe every word of that. You big Roy Green guy.
Yeah. What if I told you this was a $3 hat? Would you believe it? Probably.
Absolutely. Nobody else is paying for that.
This is a hat that when recruits pick their school, this is the one. If it's on the table, you know they're not going there. So, which, by the way, the quality of hat on the table for each school is usually a pretty good tell if you don't already know. So, used to be back in the day, you'd get like an LSU hat that was clearly bought at a gas station or something on the way to the announcement. It was a pretty good tell.
Love a gas station LSU hat.
Yeah.
BRUNTZ, did BC tell you that I have officially once again found a way to blame a loss on you?
On me?
Yeah.
What did I do? Well,
you were very short and terse with your directions when I couldn't find where BC was sitting when you were hobnobbing in the old press box. I did not appreciate your brevity in terms.
You wanted turn-by-turn directions? I didn't know where he was because he wasn't down there initially. So, but my seat was open, so that's half the battle.
That's fine. He's I don't know. He's not. Is he not down there? I was like,
no.
Geez.
I mean, he probably doesn't have like a tracker on him.
I mean, maybe.
BC, it's a free range BC. He just goes where he goes.
It's fine. We paid the price too. After Schaefer's last minute pep talk, that was great. How about that, Jim?
Man. Well, he wasn't wrong though.
No,
he was correct.
He was very correct.
Give him his flowers, but it was not the rah-rah speech you probably would have been looking for.
Well, I
made
run
out of the
tunnel. Mistake of why do you think that? And in typical shape, it was like, there's the look, and then it's, do you not know where we're playing?
Did you hear me under my breath when you asked him why he thought that? I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
I just got in that for 6.5 hours on the way up there.
Oh, bless your heart. He strikes me as a pretty good travel companion.
He is. He's a good conversation partner. We have a fairly I don't know what the right word is, intersecting Venn diagram for music playlists.
That helps.
It's always key too.
Yeah. So we don't have any disagreements there. It was a good trip, all things considered, until the game started, I guess. So.
There was a different version of mystery meat, which I know you didn't partake in. Did your cohorts like whatever the little finely chopped white stuff was?
Yeah, I asked because I always do. I don't know that there were great things to be said about it. Is that fair? And also, they killed the dilly bars. Those are no longer.
So, do you know for all the hand wringing over the dilly bars? I just want to know why you can't get bottled water.
Oh, well, they had you were like 3/4 of the way to an open bar there if you would have brought your own booze. Did you notice that?
Wait, what?
Well, they had the really fancy waters that are flavored.
Oh, the Topo Chicos. Yeah, I rated that thing. I got a little half can of Fresca that I never consumed.
Yeah, well,
I didn't even know they made Frescas that small.
Yeah, I mean we were laughing about it. It was like they were preemptively cutting you off. It's like, hey, you don't need that full Coke there, big boy, just to go with the with the 6 ounces. Like a thimble.
And my favorite is how people would literally stack cans. They'd get 6 at a time. It's like carrying a game of
Have you
Jenga.
You guys have seen that picture of Andre the Giant holding a beer can, right?
Yeah,
that's basically what it was. It was just I was just manhandling that Topo Chico or whatever it's called. What's it called? Topo Chico?
Yeah, the blueberry hibiscus was fantastic. I had 7 of them.
DB's a big Topo Chico guy.
I am.
Yeah, I'm not being facetious. He drinks a lot of it.
Yeah.
Big bubbly water guy there, Bruntzy.
That's fair.
Hey, at what point were you like, are these guys really saying the F word, chanting before the game? There's no players out here. Why are they cussing? With the Minnesota student section?
Oh yeah, they were. I'll say this for the Minnesota student section: they were ready to go. They were like dancing between plays. Like it seemed like they were, in spite of whatever the game was going on in the game. I mean, they were having a good time. BC and I were appreciating that, and the way the press box is there, you're kind of like sitting over them. So it was, yeah, they were enjoying themselves. I questioned storming the field a little bit, but
So apparently they do that after every top 25 win.
Yeah,
is what I was told.
Well, they did it. I remember it was like one of the first times Nebraska played up there and lost. I don't remember what year it was, but a co-ed from the University of Minnesota was there. It's a pretty big jump down to the field, like at least 8 feet probably.
Yeah,
and she did the whole paratrooper jump thing, landed wrong, and ended up walking out on getting carried out of there because she turned an ankle really badly. So you got to be careful, I guess. But yeah, that was, they were having a good time. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, it was pretty it was pretty final as far as ass kickings go.
Yeah, I think that's one way to put it. How have you kind of processed all the information we've got this week from Coach Rule to the coordinators to even some of the players, like just tonally and what they've actually said? How is that sat with you? I feel like we're getting a wide variety of reactions to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know. I think it's probably safe to paint it based on what everybody said, that there was, everybody was. I don't know if they were reading their press clippings. I don't know if that's what you do there, but definitely there was a focus that maybe wasn't there, and things that were happening that were a little bit out of the norm. I mean, John Butler saying that he got spooked on the long run. That for kind of how little he shares or how careful he is about sharing things, I thought that was a pretty interesting admission, and I think it was probably true. I mean, I don't. But you had 2 tackles for loss, and you're sitting there in the middle of the fourth quarter. Like there wasn't a lot of havoc going on there. So I think that tracks. I don't know. It's interesting too. I mean, I think you would think that with the players. I mean, I know it's a young team, and a lot of those guys, weren't even on the team in 23 that went up there. But I mean, I think. I would hope by now you kind of almost have to respect Minnesota in the same way that you respect Iowa, right? Like where you might not feel, you might feel like you have an advantage athletically, but you just need to kind of accept the fact that you're in for a 4-quarter fist fight. And I mean, I think at various times in the Nebraska-Minnesota series, I think Nebraska has kind of forgotten that or overlooked it. And I think it bit them a little bit again on Friday. I mean, it just felt like a Nebraska team that never really settled into that game, and Minnesota was ready from the jump.
BC, how fair or how do you feel about, if last year or whatever previous thing is not this team's burden to bear, which has kind of been the mantra, right? How much of a two-way street is kind of what you just talked about?
Yeah, it kind of bleeds into, I think, what Matt Rule and some of the players were talking about with entitlement. I think, yeah, it's not, what happened in 2013 or whatever when, Taylor Martinez's foot has no bearing on what happened last Friday. At the same time, similar approaches from Minnesota.
Yeah, your standard should be your standard.
Right. You know what you're going to get from them. And that's why I kind of compare it to Iowa a little bit. Like the names change, the players are different, but I mean, that's the thing about playing a team that over the course of a decade just kind of knows who they are. And I think, I don't know that Nebraska, across the board throughout the operation really kind of respected that enough. So, I think that's part of it. I mean, certainly the way that things played out on the field, and mistakes that were made, plays that weren't made, I think that all kind of played into it. So that's kind of been on my mind, I guess, a little bit this week. Is just I don't know. I think it was a pretty big. I would hope it was a pretty big wake up call over there with the way that things kind of played out. I forget who it was. Maybe Lutovsky said it, but you win games against Michigan State and Maryland in the fashion that you did, where you came back, you made the plays down the end at the end. I mean, you can't just take for granted that stuff's going to happen, And I think it was almost like Nebraska was somewhat waiting for like the starter to turn over and the engine to turn on, and it just never did.
BRUNTZ, as you look at the season as a whole, how much does the performance against Minnesota sort of make you question what you saw beforehand, or will you not start questioning those things until you see that happen twice? Because I sit here and I go, hey, 6 games, we have a pretty good idea kind of what this team looked like. One really horrible game that maybe all of the bad things that we saw over the course of the season happened all at once, versus is that one thing invalidating of some of those previous things for you, or do you need to see that multiple times?
I need to see it multiple times. I mean, I think you don't excuse it, but I think most teams that are kind of in that, like, that you would predict to go like 8-4, like, you're going to have a clunker. Like, teams have clunkers, and is it, there were issues that popped up in Michigan State and against Maryland that were still there against Minnesota that were, I mean, kind of wallpapered over a little bit because you won the game. I don't know if I don't think that happened over there, but I think from a perception standpoint, it does a little bit. It's what's interesting is you're basically getting a little bit of a mulligan going into this week where the game's going to be somewhat similar to what you're going to have to show up and do. I mean, you don't get breakfast
definitely
ball.
have a frame of reference.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get breakfast balls in college football, but I mean, it feels like you're getting to tee up another one here and show that maybe you can put this one down the fairway. So that's kind of the interesting part, and I think that kind of how you play this week, I think, will be a little bit telling of the lessons you learned from last week, and whether or not there's some of the issues that have kind of continued throughout the year that you can, maybe rectify a little bit.
BRUNTZ, knowing what you know now, you've seen the collateral damage, and Nebraska loses this game, and it had turned so doom and gloom, right? Like I'm still a little taken aback at
immediately went doom and gloom.
This pessimism and just I don't know. But having said that, knowing what you know now, do you appreciate, or did it fuel the fire of the doom and gloom, the tenor of the coaches taking the podium this week?
I don't know. Like, I think I felt like they accepted the responsibility of it. I mean, I think we're kind of at that point where you just need to see it. I didn't have any problem with what any of the coaches said on Monday and Tuesday. I mean, I thought Rule took responsibility for his portion of it. I thought
transparent. I
thought that John Butler was. I mean, I felt like he was pretty honest about what happened in that one. I think Dana's got a little bit more of a tall task this week to kind of figure out how they can work around some things. But I don't know. I mean, I think in some ways, that effort, I mean, it probably reinforced the feelings of doom and gloom that some were maybe already kind of wondering about with the way this team had played prior to that point. But I don't know. I mean, I think to Ravi's question earlier, I mean, you just kind of you go back out this week against Northwestern and you kind of have a similar opportunity. And I think this week is going to be very telling about kind of where this team's head is at, and also maybe what can be done, to kind of maybe not fix, but at least, mitigate some of the issues that they have, especially on offense the rest of the season.
That's okay. So twice, it's very interesting on your philosophy, and maybe it's based on the preseason expectations. But twice in the thoughtfulness there, you referenced or intimated more pressure or tougher job for the offense. As you look at it right now, who has the more experienced coordinator and who has, quote unquote, the better players?
Yeah, I mean, would you?
Makes sense
I don't know that I would say that based on what's shown up the last couple of weeks.
Okay, that's fair. I'm just curious to get behind. I got you thinking now.
Well, I guess last couple weeks just kind of stuck out to me because I mean, they've put up 30 plus points several times on offense. So like I get that the offensive performance was worse against Minnesota for sure. Like I think that's unequivocal. I just don't know. Like I don't know that I would put, despite some of the mid-game struggles against Maryland and Michigan State, the overall offensive production was still where you would want it to be, right? So like I don't know.
BRUNTZ, do most people feel share yours? I think more people feel his sentiment in our sphere of influence.
Probably.
Like, who's getting the bulk of the criticism?
I just don't know how to weigh overall production versus what it looks like kind of drive to drive in game, if that makes sense, BRUNTZ.
What's your fear say, BRUNTZ?
Well, I mean, go back to that Michigan State game. I mean, the numbers looked okay by the end of it.
Yeah.
What is it's not about the yards, it's about the points, ma'am. What's the
Coach P?
So I don't know. I mean, I think kind of at least to my very small brain, like the stretches of football where it's looked so difficult on offense. Like I think that's my concern. And I mean the sack stuff and the quarterback getting hit and what that's kind of led to everywhere else, that's got to be like, you got to find a way around that somehow. And I think that's the thing is we're how many games into this now, and you're still, a turnstile at times over there. You've got a quarterback that needs to get rid of the ball faster, that's seeing things, a running back that probably needs the ball more. It just feels like that side of the ball just needs a little bit more of a kind of holistic fix, rather than, it feels like defensively you just need guys to make plays and you dial up the aggression a little bit more. I mean, both sides of the ball at various times this year have kind of gone through these stretches where look great, and then it's kind of like, well, what are we doing? What happened to that? Like, where did that go? And I just, it feels like there's more moving pieces on offense that have to get figured out in my mind. I mean, I might be completely off base there.
I'm thinking about it real time, man. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Sounds like another segment.
Yeah, it certainly could be. BRUNTZ, I don't think it's the thing we've talked about a ton over the course of the week, because the offense has gotten a lot of the attention and we sort of end up focusing on other things. But how much impact do you put on the last couple weeks with Malcolm Hartzog being out, a 3-year starter in secondary, and then Vincent Shavers not being able to go for most of the last part of that, or I guess like the last 3 quarters of that game against Minnesota?
Yeah, no, the Shavers thing felt huge. When you're talking about splash plays and guys that just have a knack for doing that occasionally, he's at the top of that list. And I do wonder too with Hartzog and that injury. I mean, it has forced you to kind of move things around a little bit. You've got, Sierra playing more nickel, and I mean, that's probably not ideal. I think he's doing fine there, but no, I think the Shavers thing and getting him back would helped Nebraska a ton. I mean, even on the sidelines, you could see he was down there, really trying to get guys fired up, doing whatever he could. But, just having that guy in the middle of the defense and kind of completing that rotation a little bit, I think Javen Wright's playing great right now and is having a really good season. But, having Shavers in that rotation, I think adds a little bit more, especially against the run. So we'll see what he can do this week. But I mean, it felt like he was really missed on Friday when you're kind of just hoping for anybody to make a tackle and get somebody on the ground or break through and get a tackle for loss or some kind of havoc play that Nebraska was just lacking.
Last one from me, MB. When you look at this game and kind of how you think it's going to go, does it have more to do with what Northwestern is or what Nebraska is?
Yeah, I think it's a lot more about Nebraska in this one. I mean, I think you probably know what you're going to get from Northwestern, and it's just a matter of, Nebraska defensively, can you stop the run? Can you get after the quarterback a little bit? Stone is the numbers are drastically different in games that they've won and games that they've lost. And, I think for Nebraska on offense, can you find something that you can kind of rely on, get a few big plays and protect your quarterback? I mean, I think that's not only the on the field stuff, but it just feels like this is a really big test for Nebraska. It's 11 a.m. kickoff. The sleepy potential is high.
I don't know.
But I think you need to come out fast in this one. And I think Nebraska's done that this year with some regularity. But I think the fans are ready to back Nebraska if they can show early on that they've kind of shaken off last week.
That's our guy, Michael Bruntz, Husker 24/7. Bruntz, appreciate the time as always.
Your thoughtful self, Bruntsy. That a boy.
We appreciate the insight and the Aeneas Williams throwback hat.
Oh, it's Adrian Morrell.
Yeah,
I was
that's
a big
good one.
Williams guy.
Chuck Cecil. He was a
big Dan Deerdorf guy.
Got an Art Monk. Was he a Cardinal?
No, he was a Skin.
Oh, okay. Arthur.
Yeah, you're thinking of Roy Green.
Nah, probably not.
That's another 81.
Maybe. I don't know. All right, Bruntz. We'll talk to you later.
Rod Moore.
Yep. See you.
Rod Moore.
See you, Bruntsy.
Rod Moore.
Yep.
Is it Rod Moore?
Rod Moore. Yeah.
So you should have me be your game show partner.
Roy Green.
What's your feel?
What's that?
The more concern, offense or defense?
Stump Mitchell.
Very good call.
Offense.
You just
wait. Oh, ask the question again. Sorry.
Who do you feel like is getting more of the they better step up?
Who I think is getting more of the offense. I'm more concerned about the defense.
Oh, okay. All right.
I feel like I've seen the offense operate at a high level more often this year and more recently than the defense has.
Okay.
Everybody played bad against Minnesota. I can't give you anything there. We'll be back. More Hurrdat Sports Live.
Fall into fearless savings this October at Edwards Nissan with upfront deals you can point to. Lease the 2025 Nissan Sentra SV starting at $249 a month for 36 months with $0 down. Sleek design, smart tech, and incredible efficiency. It pays to make the drive to Edwards Nissan.
I mean, yeah, it's on all of us what we do as an offense, and all I can do is improve the tight end room and see how we can help the offense, see how we can improve our blocks, how we can help Dylan, and do our job at a high level. And I need to look at what I need to do better. I mean, we've been doing a good job other than the last game starting fast. So then getting back to our roots of coming out and scoring on that first drive. And I mean, we had a game earlier this season at 11 a.m. So we know what it's like. So I think that's gonna help for this one.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, reminding you, I know that it seems like Nebraska fans have needed some counseling this week. Everybody could use a little financial counseling as well. Whether you just need a checkup to see where your goals are at, whether you need debt counseling, whatever it is, Centris Federal Credit Union has you covered with their partner, Green Path Financial Wellness. No matter what you're looking for, they've got an expert to help you make sure you reach your financial goals. Become a Centris member today and learn more about their partnership with Green Path at centrisfcu.org, federally insured by NCUA.
Hey, Shane, let me ask you a question. You ready?
Yeah, sure.
Who do you think has more pressure on them this week, the offense or the defense?
I would say the offense, but it's a trick question. I would say the offense.
What?
How's it a trick question?
I don't know, because whatever I say is probably not going to be right.
Well, have some confidence.
Have some confidence?
Yeah.
I'm going to say the offense, because you got to get that sacks. You got to get those sacks under control. And you got to score some points.
I think publicly Shane is correct.
You know what my gut says?
What's that?
And this may be too pragmatic.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like the way you're pass blocking, don't throw the ball as much.
Or do it differently. Well,
I think that's much easier to remedy.
Sure.
Than seeing the same kinds of things that have been happening to you defensively with the same kind of people.
I agree. That's why I'm more concerned about the defense. I think publicly people are more concerned about the offense.
And maybe it has something to do with me saying during the broadcast, I don't know. I mean, we can be mad at the defense, but offense has got to do better than scoring 6 points twice inside the 15.
And, I mean, you brought up the yardage. I think it was like 336 to like 180 or something when you said it.
Yeah, that dog ain't going to hunt.
No, I mean, under 200 yards total offense, you're not going to beat anybody.
Well, they weren't in the end zone at all. And then they have the red zone problem.
I mean, because for all the hand-wringing over the defense, like Minnesota could have only scored 7 points and still won.
Yeah, they would have won with the halftime score.
So,
but
I don't.
But, like you said, I think the fixes are a little bit easier on offense. I think. I think if you go to quick game because they're not letting you go over the top, then you get the ball out quicker. You don't take as many sacks. If you run the ball more because you don't like how you're pass protecting, then you don't take as many sacks. If you take away some of the RPO and do more traditional run game, you don't take as many sacks.
Do you know why? Do you know what really? You don't want to know how hard it is. Go ahead, Shane, because I'm going to buy myself some time to not be immature.
I don't know. I mean, is it that easy to fix an offensive line within a week?
Well, not.
It's easier to play
to scheme around it.
To scheme around it.
Okay,
that's what we're talking about.
Gotcha.
And from what I mean, I don't know how many times I've done this now, where I'm with freaking stopwatch watching football games, but with what they've been able to give Dylan, I think there are ways to scheme around it.
It's funny how you say his name. What's his name?
Dylon?
No, that's the other dude. I slapped his wrist and he slapped back yesterday. He's a funny dude.
Yeah.
But he's got a bodyguard.
Who?
Josh.
Oh, I'm not scared of Josh.
No, but here's the thing.
It's really more of a gatekeeper than a bodyguard.
And he's funnier. Like he's equal to the task.
Yeah.
If you go in on his boy, like it turns into 2-on-1.
Yeah. No, I like Josh.
Like Connor ain't holding his own by himself.
Whereas if you go in on you, then it goes 2-on-1 the other way.
Yes. Oh yeah. It'll turn into 3-on-1 before I know it.
Start piling on.
You know what I mean? But you know what the cynic in me says? Why I just sit back with kind of this smug, pricky demeanor?
Why?
Because I was the same guy after Cincinnati that said, "What do you want?" I heard the stupid check down chart. Like, what are we doing?
Now we're
worried
mad about the checkdowns.
what people are saying. You
Now
know
we're
what I
mad
mean?
about the checkdowns. Like, hey, can we check
we've
down
saw
a little bit?
we've seen this the other way.
Mhm.
So if you can't win for losing, stop listening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
Like,
yeah, you can't be.
I've
yeah.
had this discussion the other way, and it's something that I'm pretty passionate about, and I'm not real emotional, so it's easy for me to have these conversations and store it in the Rolodex. I let other people get excited and make mistakes over time, right? Because they're going to say something in the moment, and they're going to want it back. I try really, 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 really hard not to do that on this job, so I can be more. I can go back and say, "Remember when?" Right? You know, for as much as I let you off the hook, I do keep receipts. I just don't say them out loud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I heard just the antithesis of this in week 1. And I also heard like what Emmett was and what he wasn't in the running back room and needing RB2s. And now it's get Emmett the ball more. My point is not to get the pound of flesh like what do we want. My point is understand exactly what I'm saying. It's fluid. The more information you get, the better you can move forward. So don't be so quick to be like, yep, this is it. And because you don't want your staff thinking like that. The more information they get, the more fluid the progression can be. So I'm not holding people to the fact that EJ wasn't this and EJ wasn't that and check down Charlie was this and check down Charlie was that. Like, it can grow. I'm still not resting in the fact where I said, gosh, you know what? You know, Butler pre-snap against Childs and Sorsby and Underwood, like, he neutralized 3 really good quarterbacks, right?
Pretty good.
But information is more readily available to not only me, but to other teams as well. So I'm not going to be resolute and wanting to throw dirt on guys or be mad or, like, you know, it's like, oh, that's weak or that's this or you won't hold people. Like, you guys, some of you don't understand. Like, they're not afforded the luxury to just throw their hands up. We can.
Sure. If we want to.
If we want to. And that's okay. But you can't expect people to, like, want to throw them up with you. Right? It's like the people that say the same thing over and over again. Well, you know, I've got a good friend. And you're going to be like, well, why are you friends with him? He'll say the same thing in this chat every day. Every day. And I'm like, why? I'm like, why are you so much different, you know?
In person versus on the internet.
I think sometimes people just want it so bad they lose. They just lose.
They lose their minds a little bit.
It's not that. It's you're just irrational.
Well, that's what I mean when I say lose their minds a little bit.
You come back. You can come back.
Sure. I mean, you can find it.
But some people are irrational, but they haven't lost their mind. They're just irrational.
I would argue that those are one and the same.
I don't want to get into the psychoanalyzing of it. I do not think that. Sometimes I can be extremely irrational.
Yeah.
But at no point do I think I've lost my mind.
You might be the only one.
It's a conscious effort. Throwing you a curveball.
Listen, if it's a conscious effort to be irrational, it's still rational. It's just dumb.
Wow, I'm dumb. DB here for dumb.
Listen, you would admit sometimes you do dumb things knowing full well they're dumb, right?
Correct.
See, you can do dumb things and not be a stupid person.
1, 10. How'd that come back on me?
I don't know. That's kind of what I do here. We'll be back. More Hurrdat Sports Live.
The Kia Fall Savings Event is on at Edwards Kia. Fall into fearless savings with upfront deals on your favorite models. Lease a 2025 Kia Soul LX starting at $189 per month for 24 months with $2,000 due at signing. style, efficiency, and a price that moves you. Smart looks, fearless savings. Or lease the 2025 Kia Carnival EX starting at $389 per month for 24 months with $2,000 due at signing. Comfort and tech made for every family adventure. Hurry, the Kia Fall Savings Event ends November 3rd at Edwards Kia.
We're in the neighborhood, just down the street. With a wide variety of home equity products to help you create a relaxing oasis. So you can kick back and relax in comfort. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Yeah, there's quite a few of those guys, and I think that when we talk to them, I think that they build their book based on their life experiences, and you build your book based on your football experiences, right? So the more you experience the good things, the more you experience bad things, the more you experience just getting the reps in the games. And had that conversation actually specifically yesterday with Donnie, and that you have to just start to realize, okay, why don't you take a look at all of your snaps this year and what routes are you getting? Come back to me, and what routes have you been seeing? You're not seeing a total route tree. He's seeing go balls. He's seeing shallows. That's pretty consistently what he's seeing. So just what is the indicators you have pre-snap? That's the benefit of having a system where you have a boundary corner and a field corner, because the field corner will see totally different routes and totally different players than the boundary corner. Same thing kind of with Rex. Same thing with Will. Same thing with Vincent Shavers. A lot of these guys, they're either in their first or second year. That comes with experience. That's why a lot of times old teams are better than young teams, just because they've experienced a lot more. They've been around culture a lot more, but that's a valid question.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Sacks waiting on deck, but the game right now is at the plate. High fly ball into right field. She is gone.
Here's a pitch on the way. A swing and a belt. Left field. Way back. Blue Jays win it. The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run. First pitch swinging. High fly ball. Hit deep. Back and gone. Freddie Freeman channeling his inner Kirk Gibson. A walk-off home run in Game 1 of the World Series.
Welcome back. How you feeling about that intro?
I'm not going to complain, because this is the only show in America that used a Steve Sachs reference in their highlight package. In America, I would almost guarantee it.
Probably.
But I couldn't get the Freddie meet Gibby call from. I'm sorry. I know this your baby, and I can't put together. I can't put together a sandwich, so I'm not mad at your highlight package.
Let's get to our guy Jesse Rogers from ESPN. Jesse, as you've I'm clearly found out, we've got a resident Dodgers fan here in Omaha, Nebraska. How you doing this morning, Jesse?
I'm good. I'm just shocked you just didn't just play Ohtani highlights for the package.
Oh, no, that's the best part about this Dodgers fan. Doesn't even like Ohtani.
I didn't say that.
Was mad when they signed him.
That was the original one I made.
Yeah, it was a super weird stand.
Jesse, it needs context. It was an Anaheim guy, and
I get it.
The team down the street. There was a lot.
He also didn't like it when they signed Freddie Freeman.
Well, Freddie wanted to stay in Atlanta. His agent did the deal poorly.
Also wasn't a huge fan when his Lakers traded for Luka Doncic.
Okay, Jesse.
I mean, what Dodgers?
You're like, who am I talking to? This guy's an idiot.
Max Muncy fan here? What's going on?
I actually am.
Okay.
He's a big Justin Turner guy.
But this is interesting, Jesse, because I'm, and I get it. This is gonna play into my partner's. He's just being ding dong, but I'm waiting. I am kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? I mean, the starting performances from the Dodgers pitchers, you didn't have to make a pitch with a runner in scoring position in games 1 and 2. Like, I don't think that's going to be the case, but I don't have to wait for the bullpen to implode either. Do I get it's probably going to be somewhere in the middle in this series?
Well, the other shoe would be the bullpen. I mean, that's just kind of normal thinking now. Baseball's weird. Things can flip on upside down at any moment. But, you have to remember with this starting staff, they have sort of slow played that rotation for this moment.
Yeah.
And that's important to remember. They're not rotation that's gassed like everybody else in the league. The fact that 2 out of 4, Ohtani and Snell, were really, built up for this moment is something we can't ignore. And this is going to be part of the reason people are going to scream if the Dodgers win. There's just too much money in that payroll for teams like Milwaukee and other teams to overcome, especially when you're talking about 3 or 4 rounds of the playoffs. That's what payroll does for you. So I don't see Snell and Ohtani and those guys faltering much. I think it'll be harder against Toronto. Toronto's got more power than Milwaukee, but Philadelphia had power too, and the Dodgers did pretty well against them. So, maybe they get a game or two, but I don't see the upset brewing here with the Blue Jays. And I think the only chance would be maybe get some starters' pitch counts up and get to that bullpen. But even then, I think Dave Roberts has shown he'll let a guy go 1-110, especially right now. There's no tomorrow after this series. So I don't know. It's going to be tough for Toronto, but I give them like a 1 in 10 chance to pull the upset off.
Jesse, let me ask you about it. There's something about the way Toronto makes you throw strikes too, though. Like their approach at the plate, and Dodgers are going to be around the zone. Is there some sort of great equalizer there with Toronto's offense?
Yeah, no, I think it's a good point. I think Toronto does a lot of things well, like the Milwaukee Brewers of the world or the Chicago Cubs, but they have a little bit more power and then you talk about Vlad in the middle. So it's like this is probably the toughest matchup for the Dodgers. And from pound for pound, player for player, it probably is the best matchup. It's the right, top 2 teams in each league. And so, yeah, maybe we're selling them a little bit short. But you're right. The Dodgers pitchers will have to earn every out because the Blue Jays are that good and that disciplined. I love the balance they bring. Lukes and Barges from the left side.
Finally in Toronto, huh?
Yeah, exactly. They finally have some left-handed hitters. So maybe we're selling them a little bit short. Picking the Dodgers in 5 or 6 is really about the Dodgers more than the Blue Jays. They just seem so overwhelming. I saw the word inevitable, which is a good word for the Dodgers. I picked them to repeat back in February, which I would normally never do. I'm not a repeat guy. And why would you be? No one's repeated in so long, but they're just so redundant in a lot of ways, except for maybe the bullpen because Tanner Scott and Kirby Yates haven't had the years people thought. But everywhere else, they just have so much depth and so much talent. This is really a pick about the Dodgers more than the Blue Jays.
Mm-hmm. Jesse, I want to talk about Toronto here for a second because Lord knows if I don't, maybe nobody else will. But this feels like a Toronto team that we've been waiting on for a long time. Like we had all the young people, the young players come up, the prospects, all the juniors and the legacy guys and all this. And it feels like, I know it hasn't been this long. It feels like we've been waiting a decade for this Toronto team to finally put it all together. Like what happened this year that finally allowed them to break through and not be that perpetually disappointing team that they're like, oh, watch out for the Blue Jays. And then they end up in 3rd place again.
Yeah. I mean, I'll go back to what I said before. I'm a big believer in balance in a lineup. And I know that seems like an obvious statement, but you have to understand when you get to crunch time, most of the pitching you're going to face is right-handed. And great right-handed pitching, reliever, rotation, whatever, can neutralize the slug from right-handed hitters. That the righty on righty thing is just as real as the lefty on lefty thing. So where do you get your damage in certain moments? It's from the left side. It's righty on lefty. And throughout the year and the postseason, Nathan Lukes, Addison Barger, there's been some other guys that have come up and helped out. They found balance. It was just an unbalanced lineup for so long. Now, that's not the only reason, but that's a big reason. They found some left-handed hitting that nobody saw coming, and it might be a one-year thing for all I know. I don't know how these guys are going to, do in coming years, because it wasn't like it wasn't like an MVP caliber candidate coming up and doing damage. It was these other guys. So, long story short, they found balance in their lineup, and that's been the difference this year, in my opinion.
2 of the maybe 4 or 5 currently playing 6 surefire Hall of Famers. 2025, how cool, or maybe not, would it be to see Scherzer and Kershaw in high leverage situations?
Absolutely awesome. I mean, you're not going to get Kershaw in a start, but maybe in a close game, maybe. The question is, would they pitch him with a lead? I don't even know if they would do that.
Yeah.
I mean, Scherzer's going to get Scherzer's more likely to get a moment for sure. I could see, if a starter goes out early, the Dodgers are down 3-1. That's when Kershaw comes in, like the 5th, 6th inning. I just don't know if they're going to go to him with a 3-1 lead as opposed to a 3-1 deficit. But either way, that's still high leverage. We're probably going to see it at some moment. Certainly with Scherzer, it would be great if they were both in the game at the same time. It's kind of fun to be nostalgic like that. But I don't know if Kershaw is going to get that World Series moment. He might, because Dave Roberts is the type to sort of feed the narrative.
Yep.
And everybody wants to see Kershaw one last time. So there's the possibility, but not if the series is on the line, I don't think.
So, Jesse, tell me this. I know what your prediction is, and you kind of broken this down, but what would a path to victory for Toronto look like? Like, what would that have to entail?
All right, so 2 things. I mean, Vlad continuing to be Vlad. There's no one else that can do that kind of damage. Maybe they walk him every time. Well, then the guy after him has to do some damage. But still, Vlad being Vlad winning the MVP. Let's start with that.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing is, and I've talked to, if you go to ESPN.com, I wrote something with Buster Olney, talking to scouts and other managers that have played against the Blue Jays and the Dodgers. If somehow, and the Blue Jays are not, what was I saying, righty on righty, lefty on lefty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Blue Jays don't necessarily have dominant left-handed pitching. Brendan Little, whatever, Eric Lauer. If somehow you can neutralize Ohtani and Freeman with left-handed pitching, I just don't think it's possible. You saw Ohtani in the first couple rounds against left-handed pitching. So, if you go almost batter by batter and somehow get Ohtani and Freeman neutralized against certain lefties, but like I said, Blue Jays are not dominant from that side. That's the other way. That's another way to do it. I just don't. Vlad MVP and neutralizing Freeman Ohtani, seeing like long shots to happen together. One or the other maybe, but both to happen. But that to me is the path. Make someone else beat you lower in the lineup, but the Dodgers are that good that they still might beat you.
Yeah, it's one of all my sports fandoms. This team is at the top of the list of dislikes. So I'm going to ask you about the Giants. I get it, Posey, highly respected. Front office has made good choices. What do you think? What's the buzz around Vitello, a guy that we've seen? We know we do the College World Series. We've seen him a ton. What do you?
A little bit of a nut job, if I'm being honest.
I mean,
he's out there, man.
There's so many first times. What is an organization do you think like the Giants see?
So nobody in my business was surprised by this, in the sense that they were not surprised that Buster Posey went outside the box. That was like from day one, he was going to do something like this. Now, did I think it was going to be this guy? No, but something outside the box. Buster is going to be his own guy. He's going to do things his own way, and some of it's going to be a throwback, which we're all going to like, the old school style of whatever, GMing, managing. And then there's going to be moments where you're going to scratch your head, and I think this might be one of them. But there are people that really think this guy's got it, what it takes, even if he is a little out there. So I think you have to have an open mind. And we've seen this before, where open minds, the Rangers hired, and other teams have hired, first-time guys, and it didn't work out. Remember the Padres were outside the box. So, look, you can make a prediction it's not going to work, but you have to have an open mind because you just never know. And it's not like Buster Posey doesn't know the game. So I'm willing to give it a shot. But, yeah, there's some people with some doubts about this for sure.
Jesse, I'm curious. If you were obviously you spent a ton of time around the game, if you were looking for a manager, like what are some of the characteristics you'd be looking for that maybe you don't see in a lot of the hires?
Yeah, I mean, look, managing is really about what happens from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., more than 7 to 10 p.m. I know everybody wants to focus on the batting order and a pitching change. And if you're really incompetent at either of those things, you're not going to be on the job very long.
Aaron Boone.
Aaron Boone. Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Sorry, I had a cough there. Sorry, Jesse.
But you really have to find someone with great communication skills, and that's for the media and their players, and also understanding the modern player. Things have changed over the years with social media, with phones, whatever. So, I think former players, former hitters, former catchers, and all that are still good managers because they know how hard the game is, and empathy from a manager to its players is important. But that communication from 3 to 7, there's so many things now with technology and breaking things down, but you want to keep the game simple, but give them all the information. And it's the manager's job to set that tone, how you communicate all that and still have guys play loose and fun and all that stuff. So to me, that's the work before the game and in spring training is where it all happens. During the game, guy's going to get a hit or he's not. It's not really on the manager at that point, Same thing with pitching. So it's all those things that you know it when you see it, like in an interview, I think. This guy's got it, and you go from there. And maybe this guy from Tennessee has it. We'll see.
Outside of Steve Garvey, another team I have a tremendous amount of disdain for is the Padres, playing in the same division. I mean, does that make a guy like Carlos Hernandez a viable candidate? I know he's thrown his hat in the ring, and I think Schilt leaving probably surprised some people with that payroll and that roster. What does San Diego do?
Yeah, A.J. Preller is another one that's a little bit outside the norm, right? I think he would like a veteran, solid guy in there because I don't think A.J. is the type to really mess with batting orders and things like that. How some front offices are more involved in the day-to-day, like lineups and stuff. A.J.'s more of a wheeler dealer, and he's got a veteran team. I still think a veteran presence is probably the right move. Now, he has zigged when everyone thought he was going to zag and vice versa in the past. But, man, he's been there a long time. The Padres at some point are going to fall off the cliff payroll-wise, right? And they've been teetering for a while now.
Yeah.
I feel like they're into their last chances in this window that they have with Machado and that group in a way. Maybe I could be wrong if they keep spending. So I would imagine he'd want a solid veteran presence to deal with a veteran team there. But I haven't followed it, day to day that closely. I just know what AJ's like, and I just don't know if he wants to hold the hand of a first-time manager. So we'll see, though. We'll see. Like I said, he thinks outside the box as well.
That is Jesse Rogers from ESPN. Jesse, appreciate the time and hope you have a great time watching the World Series.
Same to you guys. Enjoy Ohtani and everyone.
Thanks, Jesse.
Especially you, DB, with Ohtani.
Yeah, zip it.
It's your favorite player.
Zip it.
I'm just saying, if he brings you back to back,
I think you've
World
overplayed
Series,
my disdain.
I don't know. Every time something happens, you're kind of like, oh, this guy again.
He has hit 4 home runs in a row. So
it's like every time I walk into the building, you're like, oh, this guy again.
That's not true at all. Not true at all.
What'd you hit me on Monday? What are you doing here?
Do you want my original intro?
Yeah. Give it to me.
There's a drive. It's a bullet. Was there any doubt? Shohei Ohtani arrives in October with a 3-run home run. There goes Ohtani. Shohei lighting up the highlights already. It's a leadoff home run after he struck out 3 in the top of the first. Ohtani, did he? Ohtani! Ohtani has done it again! His 3rd home run!
Yeah, that definitely would have been a bit much.
I think it was great. I think it's terrific. Listen, Shane, if the Lakers make
Shane, you are really good at what you do, little buddy.
if the Lakers make the finals, I need it to be all Luka to LeBron cuts, all of it.
We'll be playing in.
All of it.
There's not a chance.
Okay, well, when they're playing in the first play-in game,
When's he coming back from his fake hip injury?
all Luke. He's got sciatica. He's an old man.
He needs to go see the guys at next gen.
He does. You need to come see us a
Well,
week.
apparently, he already has good docs.
Oh, allegedly. I'm just saying we're like 22 years in. I'm sure it's super normal. It would be. Make sure you come see us next Friday. It's a week from tomorrow for the Hurrdat Sports live show on Halloween. RSVP at Eventbrite. Search for Hurrdat Sports Live. You'll find it right there. All you can eat. It's got breakfast pizza, biscuits and gravy, French toast, potatoes, fresh fruit, bacon, sausage, the whole thing.
Sausage.
Make sure you put the cream cheese and butter and the bagel. Make sure you come out here. All you can eat breakfast buffet for $15. You can also order drinks as well. You can also RSVP directly at hurrdatsportsbar.com.
Probably have some Shohei highlights for you too.
Got to have some Shohei highlights. Maybe we can find some Luka highlights by then as well. I don't know if LeBron's going to be playing. You got to save him for the important part of the season, DB.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You got to save him.
All right.
That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We'll be back tomorrow. More Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.